Alright, mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Alright, we're live. And guys, as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, I'm going to be working on music and game logic again in Python. Last stream I had to stop it, unfortunately, because I had few workers come in my house. I had to like repair a few things. That aside, let me go to my main screen, my gameplay screen. And guys, I did work a little offline on this code because I did want to do some progress. I didn't want to like not do any kind of progress. So let me show you guys my game that I worked on offline. So it's basically my this player moves, and I did add as sound effects. If I hit them, it makes that sound effect. And guys, I am the voice actor for it. I might just die. And if I like eat the meat, there's like the meat eating sound effect. Yeah, you guys get the gist of it. I actually might die here. Although I did add one thing, which is I didn't trap my player in the screen. I might do that, and then I am going to be writing this code again from scratch. That's me, guys. Okay, that is solid. Let me just add the tiny, very changes that I wanted to make to my code. Okay. So I'll go to my what you will call it. Let's see, my hero class here, and I'll add a trap method. Actually, under the move method only, let me add a comment that says trap player in window. Okay, now let me trap the player in window. To trap my player in my window, I'll do something. Let's see, I'll go with my game.hero. Actually, I feel like self.rect. Okay, so self.rect.x-axis, my player's x-axis is going to be equal to max. The max is going to be set to 0. The min is going to be my self.rect.x-axis, comma. Let's see, let me go with 1000. My width minus self.rect.width. Okay, perfect. Let me do the same thing with my y-axis as well. So self.rect.y-axis is going to be equal to max. Max is going to be 0. Min is going to be something like, let's see, self.rect.y-axis, comma. This time it's going to be my vertical window size 600, 650 minus my self.rect.height. Okay, perfect. This should trap my player if I run the command. There we go. My player can exit the screen. Can exit the screen. Okay, I can do a few more changes, like so my player actually touches the floor and like he could go completely to the left. That aside, let me drink the meat. Guys, I feel I did a pretty good job voice acting. That aside, let's see, work on the reset logic, and then I will be making this code again. I will be writing it from scratch. Let me just mute myself because I'm hearing myself like twice. There we go. And guys, there is 9 more days left for my 100 days series. That aside, this is the reset logic. So I'll go with my game object.reset. Okay, so if I hit R, I reset. Now let me go under my win game conditions. So if my win game condition, let me add a text to it. Before I add my text, did I add fonts for it? Did I create fonts? There we go. I didn't create fonts. So let me create a game underscore win. Actually, game underscore one underscore text underscore font. I'll set that equal to pygame dot font dot capitalize font. Okay, the font is going to be none. That's basically Pygame's default font. The size is going to be 50. I'll do the same thing for my game lost. So I'll go with game underscore lost underscore text underscore font. My font is going to be equal to pygame dot lowercase font dot capitalize font. Okay, my font type is going to be none. Pygame's default font, and the size will be 50. Then I'll go all the way down here till my win/lose logic, and after I blit my let's see. Okay, after I blit my image on my screen, right here, I'll go with a game underscore one underscore text. I'll set that equal to my game underscore one underscore text underscore font dot the render function. Okay, let me render a text. The text is going to be something like you win, or the you won exclamation. Press R to reset. Okay, and the analysis, if that's how you pronounce it, is going to be set to true, and the color is going to be black. Okay, and then let me blit it on the screen. So I'll go with screen.blit. I want to blit my game 1 text at the given depth of 150 by 40. Let me do the same thing with my game loss. So after I have my game loss text here, there we go. And guys, there's much more things that I need to learn as well. I don't take credit for this whole code because I did ask Sensei for help a lot off stream. And I need to work more on not hashtag the buff bar logic and everything. Got 9 days. That aside, let me go with a game underscore lost underscore text, which is going to be equal to my game underscore lost underscore text underscore font dot the render function, and I'll render something. Let's see. I'll render a text. The text is going to be something like you lost exclamation you lost, press R to restart, and the analysis is going to be set to true, and the color will be, I don't know, black. Okay, and then let me blit it on my screen. I'll go with screen.blit. I want to blit my game lost text. Game lost text at the given depth of 150 by 40. Okay, now let me just change this logic a little. Let me change that to 1. If I like collect a coin, let me wait for a coin to spawn. There. Guys, I feel that sounds this thing. Okay, if I hit R resets the game. If I hit R regularly, okay, that also resets the game. So I gotta go and make a change. But before that, let me change this 150 to 200. Just for this is just for visuals, guys. So let me collect a coin up there. Okay, maybe a bit more to the right, so 230 would be good. Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe 250. Guys, I'm a little picky when it comes to visuals. There, that's perfect. Let me change that to 250 as well in that case. There. Okay, perfect. Next up, let me go all the way down here. Okay, if my keys are and let's go with game underscore game.game underscore over or game.game underscore 1, I'll reset the game. So now if I hit R, it doesn't reset, but if I lose or I win, that works. Okay, perfect. This is already a complete game. Now let's get to making this game again. Let me go here, go with the controller, delete that, zoom in a bit. Alright, so, and I know I didn't like bring Sensei in the convo the whole stream because like Sensei's right here. I think I got what to do today. So let me go ahead and let me actually go and check if my stream is working here. Alright, let me go ahead and import. Let me import Games. Okay, and then import. Honestly, I'll import the things that I need later on because I don't want to import everything at once. Okay, next up, let me initialize Pygame by typing pygame.init. Okay. And then let me initialize Pygame's mixer as well because I will be using music. So pygame.mixer.init. Okay, and then let's see, what else do I need? I would need to add my display. Excuse me, guys. So for display, I'll create 2 variables, a width variable and a height variable. Do I have water, guys? Okay, yeah, it's half a bottle, but I forgot to fill my water, guys. Okay, the display is going to be 1000 by 650. Okay, and then let me create another variable called screen. I'll set that variable equal to pygame.display.set underscore mode. The mode is going to be my variables width and height. Width, which is set to 800, which is set to 1000, and height, which is set to 650. Maybe let me add a caption as well. So let me go with pygame.display.set underscore caption. My game is going to be called Calamity 1.1. I don't know why I like this name. Okay, and then what else would I need? I would need game variables. So let me go ahead and create a comment that says game variables. What all game variables would I need? I'll definitely need gravity variables. So I'll create a gravity variable. Set that equal to 0.5. Okay, and then what else would I need? I would need something like I don't know, FPS. FPS is going to be equal to 60, and then I'll need a FPS controller as well. So I'll go with a clock variable. I'll set that equal to pygame.time.clock, capitalized clock. Maybe I'll write a comment that says FPS controller. Okay, that's honestly all I can think for right now, so let me move on. I would have to load images, so let me go ahead and load images here. What other images would I need? I would need my player image, skeleton image, dragon image, my potions image, meats image, and all those different images. Let me start off by importing my hero image. So my hero underscore image, okay, is going to be equal to pygame.image.load, and I'll give the file path. The file path is going to be my game item followed by 2 forward slashes followed by players. There we go, followed by 2 more forward slashes and my hero PNG. And since this is a PNG, I will convert this to alpha. Okay, and then what else would I need? I would need my skeleton image. So let me go ahead and create a variable called skeleton underscore image. I'll set that equal to pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path of my image. The file path is going to be game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by NPCs, 2 more forward slashes, and my skeleton PNG. Since it is a PNG, I will convert this to alpha as well. Okay, and then what else do I need? I need my dragon image, so I'll go with dragon underscore image. I'll set my dragon image equal to pygame.image.load, and I'll get the file path. So my file path is going to be game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by NPCs, 2 more forward slashes, my dragon PNG. And again, since it is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. And I'm not going to be loading all my images right now. I'll load them gradually. That aside, I would need to transform and scale my images. So let me write a comment here that says transform and scale. Okay, so to transform and scale, let me go ahead and define a function. Let's see. Let me define a scale function. My scale function will be having 2 parameters. The first is going to be image. The second is going to be factor. Factor is basically the size. I'll leave it to be 1.1 by default. And then I'll return pygame.transform.scale. Okay. Now, what do I want to scale? I want to scale my image. The size is going to be a tuple. I'll go with an integer and get the width of my image and multiply it by my factor. So, image.get underscore width. Okay. Okay, I'll get my width and then I'll multiply it by my factor. And then I'll do the same thing for height. I'll go with an integer. Image.get underscore height. I get the height of my image and then I multiply that by my factor. Okay, now let me go ahead and transform my images. So let me transform my hero image first. So hero underscore image is going to be equal to invoke my scale function. I want to transform my hero underscore image. Let me do the same thing for my skeleton underscore image. I'll reassign that. I'll set that equal to invoke my scale function. I want to scale my skeleton underscore image. Lastly, for my dragon underscore image, I'll set that equal to invoke my scale function. I want to scale my dragon underscore image. Okay, perfect. That's basically it for scaling. After scaling, what else would I need? I would need music. So let me go with load SFX. Guys, correct me, fact check me if I'm wrong. I think that SFX means sound effects. They sound pretty similar. That aside, let me load a few sound effects. So the first sound effect is going to be player underscore colliding SFX. Okay, sound effects. There. Okay, so I'll go with pygame dot was it music? Pygame dot mixer. I'm pretty sure it's mixer in that case. Dot music. Was it capitalized music? Lowercase music. Okay. And I'll give the file path. And guys, I am pretty new with music, so okay. Pygame.mixer.music. The file path is going to be game items. Am I doing something wrong? Honestly, let me just check the reference real quick. Hey guys, because I am a little new to this stuff. Load images. There was no music loaded here. Okay, in that case, it has to be this. Excuse me, guys. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's sound and not music. Okay. So this should be sound. Okay, a capitalized sound. There. Okay, the file path is going to be my game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by SFX, 2 more forward slashes, colliding sound. Okay. Since it is sound, I don't think I need to convert it to anything. Then let me go ahead and load in my... Let's see. Honestly, that's the only sound I can think of right now, so I'll go with my floor now. Let me go ahead and create floor. Okay, floor is basically going to be where my player is standing, so I'll create a floor variable set that equal to pygame.capitalize rect. Then add the x-axis, y-axis, width and height. My x-axis is going to be 0, y-axis is going to be something like 500, width is going to be my display's width, which is set to 1000, height is going to be something like 300. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add a comment that says windscreen. This is going to be my windscreen. What all variables would I need for my windscreen? I'll need a win_screen_UI variable. Then let me go with pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path of my windscreen UI. So the file path is going to be game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by screens. 2 more forward slashes, my windscreen PNG. Since I won't be using this as PNG and this is going to be covering up my entire window, I will just convert it. I won't convert it to alpha. Okay, and then let me transform it. So I'll go windscreen UI. I'll set that equal to pygame.transform.scale. Okay. Okay, I want to scale it to, let's see. I want to scale my windscreen UI. The size is going to be in a tuple. My size will be my display's width and height. Okay, and then I'll need a font. So let me go with win text_font variable. I'll set that equal to pygame.font.capitalized font. My font type is going to be none, pygame's default font. The size is going to be 50. And then let me do the same thing for my game, actually loose screen. So loose screen. My loose screen is going to be having a lose_screen_UI. Also that equal to pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path. The file path is going to be my game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by screens, 2 more forward slashes, my loose screen PNG. And since I won't be using this as a PNG, I will just convert it because this is going to be covering my whole screen, so I wouldn't have to use alpha. Then let me transform it. So I'll go with loose screen UI. I'll set that equal to pygame.transform.scale. Okay, what do I want to scale? Let me fix my typo real quick. Okay, what do I want to scale? I want to scale my loose screen UI. And the size is going to be in a tuple. The size will be my display's width and height. Okay, perfect. And then I'll need a font as well. So let me go with lose_screen_font, or actually loose text font. Loose text font, I'll set that equal to pygame.font.capitalized font. Okay. My font is going to be none. That's basically Pygame's default font, and the size will be 50. Okay, perfect. What else do I need? I would need a score details because I will be counting my player scores. So I'll go with score_text_font. I'll set that equal to pygame.font.capitalized font. My font type is going to be none and the size will be 36. Okay, I honestly can't think of anything else. I do need drop delays, but I will work on that later. So for now, let me go ahead and create a class for my game. I'll create a game class. Okay, honestly, before my game class, I will be creating a move class and a game object class. My move class will have a dungeon in it, so I'm going to define a dungeon init constructor, which is going to be having a x-axis underscore velocity parameter that is going to be set to 0 by default, and a y-axis underscore velocity parameter that is going to be set to 0 by default as well. Okay, and then let me, let's see. I'll create a few instance variables. So I'll go with self.x_velocity equals to the self.x-axis velocity equals to x-axis velocity. Self.y-axis underscore velocity equals to y-axis underscore velocity. Okay, my move method, this is basically all that is going to have. It won't have any draw or anything. So I'll go ahead and create another class called my game object class. This is where I'm going to be drawing my images, regs, and masks. My game object class will inherit from my move class, okay? And then it is going to have a defined dunder init constructor. The constructor is going to have a few parameters. So it will have the parameters of my move class, so x-axis velocity, y-axis velocity, and then a image, and lastly a position, which is going to be equal to a tuple. Okay, pretty sure that part is correct. Might have to fact check myself. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add a super dot dunder init, Then let me go with x-axis underscore velocity equals to x-axis underscore velocity. Okay, y-axis underscore velocity equals to y-axis underscore velocity. Image equals to image. Okay, I don't think I can do that because I just need x-axis and y-axis, right? Okay. Position equals to, let's go with 0 and 0. I'm pretty sure this part's correct. Okay, and then let me create a few instance variables. Self dot image and position. Okay, I'm pretty sure those are the two things I need. Okay, so self dot image equals to image. Self dot rect equals to self dot image dot get underscore rect. The position will be top left, which is going to be equal to my position quark here. Lastly, self.mask. The reason I'm creating masks is because I am going to be using them for pixel perfect collision. Bro, how did you get PyCharm? I honestly installed PyCharm like from whatchamacallit, Google. There are like different YouTube tutorials that teaches on how to install PyCharm. My first ever video, I did show you guys on how to install PyCharm, but that's real vague, so don't count on that, guys. You guys can watch different better YouTube tutorials for how to install PyCharm. Okay, that aside, self.mask is going to be equal to pygame.mask.prompt surface. My surface will be my self.image. Okay, and then let's see. That's honestly basically it. I will have a draw attribute, a draw method as well, because all my objects would need a draw method to draw them on the screen. So my draw method will be having a surface parameter, which is going to be set to screen by default. Then I'll go with surface.blit. What do I want to blit? I want to blit my self.image and my self.rect. Self.rect is basically the position. Okay, that's honestly pretty much it for my game object. Let me actually fact check if I did that part correct. Okay, my move is correct. Object is correct as well. Okay, perfect. Okay, game object needs to have a automate as well. Okay, I missed the automate, but I was kind of close. I added quarks there as well. Okay, I was kind of close, guys. That aside, I needed a quarks. I might need to ask Sensei, why did I add quarks? And let me add a comment so I remember my questions. Why did I need quarks here? Question mark. Okay, now with that out of the way, let me create a automate method. Okay, so I'll go ahead and define a automate method. Okay, my automate method is honestly going to be easy. So self.rect.x-axis, my object's x-axis is going to increase by my self.x-axis underscore velocity. This is going to automate them, but they will exit the window. So I need to add a looping system as well. So let me add a if statement. If my self.rect.x-axis, my object's x-axis is greater than or equal to, let's say 1000. Which is my vertical window size, okay, actually is less than or equal to 0, or just less than 0. Okay, which is basically when they leave my display. I will reset their position, self.rect.x-axis, I'll set that equal to 650. Actually, I'll go with 850, or like 1050, because this is like my vertical window size. Okay, perfect. And then I would need a class. So let me create a class for my hero. This is going to be my hero class. My hero class will inherit from my game object class that is inheriting from my move class. Okay, my hero class will have a dunder init constructor method as well with a few parameters. The parameters are going to be firstly the parameters of my game object class. So x-axis velocity, y-axis velocity, image position. Okay, so I'll go with x-axis underscore velocity, y-axis underscore velocity, image, which is going to be equal to a random image. I'll set that equal to none honestly for now. Actually, I could go with my hero image. The hero image. Okay, position is going to be equal to 100 by 300. Okay. And then my hero would need a jump strength as well. So I'll go with a jump underscore strength. There we go. I'll set that equal to -5 by default. X-axis velocity is going to be 5 pixels per frame. Y-axis velocity is going to be equal to 5 pixels per frame as well. Then let me go ahead and add a super dot dunder init. Okay, a super dunder init. My super dunder init will have my x-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to x-axis underscore velocity. Y-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to y-axis underscore velocity. Image is going to be equal to image. Position is going to be equal to position. And then let me create a instance variable for my jump strength. So I'll go with self dot jump underscore strength. That is going to be equal to my jump strength here. Okay, perfect. What else would my hero need? My hero has I would need a move method for my hero. So let me go ahead and add a move method. I could add a move method in my game objects. It's the same thing, but I'll add it in my hero. So define a move method. My move method will have a parameter of keys to it. Then let me add a if statement. If my keys at index of pygame.k is right, if my right key is pressed, I will increase my self.rect.x-axis, my player's x-axis, by my self.x-axis underscore velocity. Okay, and then let me do that for the left as well. If my keys at index of pygame.k is left, if my left key is pressed, I will decrease my hero's x-axis, so self.rect.x-axis by my self.x-axis underscore velocity. Okay, and lastly, if my keys at index of pygame.k is space, if my space bar is clicked, I will do something. Let's see. I will set my jump strength, my hero's y-axis velocity, so self.y-axis velocity, I'll set that equal to my self.jump strength, which is -5. So whenever my space bar is clicked, my hero is going to move -5 pixels upwards, if that made any sense. Okay, since I have a move method, I would need to trap my player in the window as well. So let me do that inside my move method. I'll go with trap player in window. Okay, to trap my player in window, let me go with self.rect.x-axis, my player's x-axis. I'll set that equal to max, which is going to be 0. My player can't go beyond 0. And the min is going to be my self.rect.x-axis, my player's x-axis, comma. Let's go with 1000, my vertical window size, minus my self.rect.width, my player's width. Okay. And then let me do the same thing for y-axis as well. I'll go with self.rect.y-axis, my player's y-axis. I'll set that equal to max, which is going to be set to 0, min, which is going to be set to self.rect.y-axis, comma. This time, instead of 1000, I'll go with 650, my vertical window size, minus my self.rect.height. Okay, that basically traps my player. Okay, is someone like knocking at my door? Pretty sure not. Let me just check if someone is. Okay, got concerned for a second, thought someone was knocking on my door. Never mind, guys, let me go ahead and define another method. My player would need to apply gravity as well, so I'll go with apply underscore gravity method. My apply gravity method won't have any parameters, but for my apply gravity method, I will increase my self.rect, actually self.y-axis underscore velocity, my player's y-axis velocity, by my gravity variable, which is set to 0.5. So whenever my player jumps up, which is set to my jump strength -5, so whenever I hit a space bar, my player will be going up, but the gravity will pull him down as well by 0.5, if that made any sense. And then I'll increase my self.rect.y-axis, my player's y-axis, by my self.y-axis underscore velocity. That's basically animating gravity, or like replicating gravity, if that made any sense. Since I have a gravity, I would need to work with landing. This is going to endlessly pull my player downwards. But with the landing, I want my player to stop once he touches the floor. So I'll go with landing. For landing, I'll add an if statement. So if my self.rect, if my self.rect.bottom, if my player's bottom is greater than or equal to my floor variable dot y-axis, my floor's y-axis, I will reset my self.rect.bottom, my player's bottom, maybe remove the comma and add a full stop or a dot. Okay, I'll set that equal to my floor.y-axis. And then I will reset my y-axis velocity. So self.y-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to 0. What this basically means is if my player's bottom is greater than or equal to my floor, if he's above my floor or touching my floor, then I'll go with self.rect.bottom equals to floor. He won't be able to go beneath my floor or under my floor. He's going to be capped there. And then my y-axis velocity is going to be set to 0. So there is no more jumping until I hit my spacebar again. That aside, what else would I need? I have apply gravity, I have a move method, I wouldn't need a draw method, so that's basically it. Let me go ahead and create a class for my skeleton now. Okay, my skeleton class is going to be inheriting from my game object class as well. Then let me go ahead and define a dungeon init constructor. Okay, which is going to be having a few parameters. It would need all the parameters that my game object class has, that is x-axis velocity, y-axis velocity, image, position, and quarks. Okay, so x-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to 5 pixels per frame, y-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to 5 pixels per frame as well. Image is going to be equal to my skeleton image. Position is going to be equal to a tuple of 100 by 500. Actually 500 by 300. Okay, and then let me drink some water, guys. Kind of dehydrated. Let me check if I'm audible and the stream's going good, because guys, I am recording my stream as well. I don't know why, for some reason. I thought it'd be a good idea to record my stream, so I hope the stream isn't lagging anywhere. Okay, perfect, works nice. Okay, oh, it's going good. Okay, and then let me go ahead and add a super dot dunder init. Okay, a super dunder init. I'll go with x-axis underscore velocity equals to x-axis underscore velocity, which is set to 5 pixels per frame. Y-axis underscore velocity equals to y-axis underscore velocity. Image equals to image. Position equals to position. Okay, that's basically it. Let me go here and add a quarks as well. Okay. Didn't I need a quark here? Position and then quarks. Okay. Didn't I need like a quark for my super dunder init? Okay, for some reason my skeleton didn't need a quark here. That's another question for Sensei, I guess. Let me remove this. Add a comment that says, why didn't I need why didn't I need quarks here? Quarks here, question mark. Okay, with that out of the way, let me go ahead and let's see. I honestly wouldn't need anything else for my skeleton class because my game object class already has a automate method and a draw method. Like, I have a automate and a draw. That's basically everything that I needed for my skeleton. So let me go ahead and create a class for my dragon object. Let me go ahead and create a dragon class, which is going to inherit from a game objects class. Let me define a dunder init. Okay, a constructor which is going to be having a few parameters like x-axis underscore velocity, which is going to be equal to 6 pixels per frame, y-axis underscore velocity, which is going to be equal to 6 pixels per frame as well. Image is going to be equal to my, excuse me guys, dragon image position is going to be equal to something like 100 by 300. I think 500 by 100 would be good, or was it 100 by 500? Okay, let's try 100 by 500. 100 to the right. 500, 100. I think 500, 100. Guys, I'm just visualizing the coordinates in my brain. We can like, this is all for visuals. You guys could like do trial and error for the positions and everything. That aside, let me go ahead and add a super dot dunder init. And guys, if you guys didn't know, dunder means double underscore. Okay, I'll go with x-axis underscore velocity. I'll set that equal to x-axis underscore velocity. Y-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to y-axis underscore velocity. Image is going to be equal to image. Position is going to be equal to position. Okay, perfect. That's honestly all I need for. That's all that I need for my dragon class as well. Okay. Alright, so what else would I need? I would need a drops class. So for my drops class, before my drops class, I'll need a class for my game. So I'll go with a class game. The reason I'm creating a game class is because I want to like reset everything and I don't want to manually type everything at the end. So I will gradually be adding the stuff here that I want to reset. What all would I have to reset? Let me go with collision. Let me add a comment that says collision flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, for my collision flag, I'll need a skeleton. I have to go with self dot skeleton. Maybe let me go with a dunder init. Delete that. I'll define a dunder init constructor. It won't have any parameters. I'll just go with a few instance variables. Self dot collision skeleton underscore collision equals to, let's see, false, because my skeleton hasn't collided yet. Self dot dragon underscore collision equals to false as well, because my dragon hasn't collided yet. I will go ahead and add a comment here that says collision flag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I would need one for, let's see, my scores. So I'll go with score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For my score, I'll create a self dot score instance variable. I'll set that equal to 0 because I would want my score to start with 0, and then a self dot score boolean variable. I'll set that equal to false because I haven't scored yet. Okay, what else would I need? Since I can't think of anything else that I would need, let me go ahead and define a reset method. Okay, my reset method won't have any parameters, although I will go with self.dunder init. So when I invoke my reset method, it is going to reset these. Basically, all my game state is going to be set to false back. Back to false, if that made any sense. Okay, that aside, I would need a drops class, right? So let me go all the way up here. Under my score details, I will go with a, let's see, like drop delay. Okay, so what all drop delays do I need? I need a coin drop delay. Okay, coin drop delay variable, which is going to be equal to 3 seconds because I want my coin to spawn every 3 seconds. With that said, I would need to import the time module now. Okay, I would soon have to import the random module as well. Let me actually import this. I'll import this later. Okay, and then I'll go under my game class, I'll add a comment that says, let's see, drop details. For my drop details, I'll go with a drop time. So a coin underscore drop underscore time. This is going to track how much time has passed. I'll set that equal to my time module dot the time function. Okay, that's honestly all I can think of right now. So yeah. Let me go ahead and create another class. This is going to be called the drops class. And my drops class won't inherit from my game object class because I am going to be, because drops are basically UIs and UIs are like a separate thing of their own, if that made any sense. So let me go ahead. Bro, I'm facing issue in the code of question Dormy's Paint 3. It's a code force 8090 a problem. Can you please help? Honestly, I could try helping. You could like send the code in the Discord server, but a quick little note, I am not that good in Python yet. Although I could like take a look at the codes, like you could like join the Discord server and like mention me on the Python chat and let me know once you mention. I could like take a look at the code, but I won't be that helpful, guys. I'm not that good with Python. Okay, that aside, let me go ahead and define a dunder init. What all parameters would my drop class need? Honestly, it won't need any parameters. I will create a few instance variable like self.image. I'll set that equal to my drops image. Okay, so I guess it's time that I blit my drops image. So let me go here and create a coins variable. Let me go with coin underscore image. I'll set that equal to pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path. The file path is going to be game item followed by 2 forward slashes followed by drops, 2 more forward slashes, and my gold coin PNG. Since it is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. Okay, there we go. And then let me transform it here. So I'll go with my coins underscore image. I'll set that equal to invoke my scale function. I want to scale my coin image. Okay, and the factor this time, it won't be 0.1. I will change it to 0.05 because I want my coins to be smaller than my heroes, dragons, and skeletons, if that made any sense. Okay, and then let me scroll all the way down and set self.image equals to my coin image variable. Self.rect is going to be equal to my self.image.get underscore rect. The position is going to be, let's see, I want it to be random position, so I guess it's about time that I import the random module. Let me go ahead and import random. Okay, perfect. Okay, so before my image, let me go ahead and create a x-axis. I'll set that equal to random.randint. Okay, this is going to be something like 50 comma with my displays width, which is set to 1000. Okay, minus 50. Okay, I'll do the same thing for y-axis. My y-axis is going to be equal to random.randint 50 comma, instead of going height right now, I will go with my floor.y-axis. Why didn't I go with height? Because if I went with height, my coins would spawn under my floor or above my floor as well. I don't want that. I want my coins to spawn above my floor. So there we go. And then my self.rect is going to be located top left, which is going to be equal to a tuple of my x-axis and y-axis. Okay, which is the random locations. And then I'll need a mask, so I'll go with self.mask. The reason I am creating masks is because I'm going to be using pixel perfect collision. For pixel perfect collisions, we need masks. Unless if it was like, or whatchamacallit, let's see, if it was like a square and a rectangles collision, I do need to like review that as well. We would need to create, let's see, the closest, we would have to find the closest x-axis and closest y-axis, if that made any sense. I will honestly show that like if there is some time after I'm done with this. Okay, so pygame.mask.from underscore surface. The surface will be my self.image. Okay, that's honestly basically it. Now let me go ahead and define a draw method, which is going to be having a surface of, which is going to be having a parameter of surface, which is going to be set to screen by default. Okay, and then let me go with surface.blit. I want to blit my self.image and self.rect. Okay, perfect. That's basically it for my drop class. What else do I need? Okay, so I would need a comment that says game objects. Game objects are basically my hero object. I'll set that equal to my hero class. Why am I doing it inside of my game class? Well, because when I hit R, eventually I'll add a reset method. Like once the game ends, I'll hit R. Then the entire game resets. I would have to reset their positions as well. So it's going to be easier if I reset them inside of my game class. So I'll go with my hero object. I'll set that equal to my hero class. Okay, which won't need any parameters because everything is set to a keyword argument. And then I would need a skeleton class. Okay, a skeleton object which is going to be equal to my skeleton class. That would need any parameters as well. I'll go with a dragon class, a dragon object which is going to be equal to my dragon class. Okay, perfect. Okay, honestly, that's basically it. I would have to create one. Let me create a coins object. I'll set that equal to a list of my drops class. Okay. I will have to prefix them with self because they are instance variables. Okay, there we go. Self.dragon, self.coin. Alright, perfect. Okay, now let me go ahead and add my game main loop. So I'll go ahead and create a game loop. Okay, for my game loop, I'll create a is underscore running boolean variable. I'll set that equal to true, and then add a while loop. While is underscore running, while my program is running or while my is running is set to true, I will do something. Let's see. I'll create a keys variable, set that equal to pygame.key.get underscore pressed. This is going to be useful for my move method on my hero class, which requires a keys parameter. So basically pygame.key.get pressed checks if any of my keys are pressed, and then in my hero class I specified what key is being pressed. So like if statement, if my keys at index of pygame.k is right, if my right key is pressed, if that made any sense, guys. Okay, and then I would need to let me go with a screen.fill. So screen.fill, I'll fill my screen with a good sky blue color. I do not remember the sky blue colors RGB memorized, so I will check the reference code and copy the RGB color from here. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Okay, perfect. And then what else would I need? I would need to have a collision detection. So let me go ahead and create a collision detection or collision detector. Detection would sound better. Collision detection for hero and NPCs. This checks if my hero collided with any NPCs. So for my collision detection, I'll go ahead and define a collision underscore detector function. There we go. My collision detection function will be having a bunch of parameters. For example, a player parameter, who is going to be my player, a enemy parameter, who is going to be my enemy. Next one is optional, a enemy underscore name parameter. If you guys want to add an F string to like specify hero collided, or like you collided with a skeleton, you collided with a dragon, you collided with something. Okay, so that's going to be enemy name, which is going to be a string. And lastly, a collision flag. Okay, what is a collision flag? Collision underscore flag. Basically, collision flag is like, these are my collision flags, like skeleton collision false. If they're collided, I'll switch that to true. Okay, there we go. And then since this is a pixel perfect collision, I would need to find offset. So offset underscore x-axis is going to be equal to my enemy dot rect dot x-axis minus my hero dot rect dot x-axis. Okay, this is going to be my player. Okay, and then I would need a offset underscore y-axis. I'll set that equal to, let me just check something. Okay, my offset underscore y-axis is going to be equal to my enemy underscore rect dot y-axis minus my player underscore rect dot y-axis. Okay. Player. Okay, player and enemy. Okay, this is going to be dot instead of underscore, guys. My bad. Okay, and then I would need an overlap variable. So I'll go with overlap. I'll set that equal to my player dot mask this time. This is where we're going to be using our mask. My player mask dot overlap my enemy dot mask. If my player mask overlaps with my enemy mask at the given offset of offset underscore x-axis and offset underscore y-axis, okay, that's honestly basically it. If that happens, that counts as an overlap. Let me add a if statement now. If overlap, if my player did overlap, or if a overlap did happen, and if not collision flag, if my collision flag is set to true, which is they're initially set to false, but once that happens, they're going to be set to true. If it's set to true, I'll print a f string. Let me say you collided with a, add a pair of curly parentheses, go with my enemy name, which is right here. You collided with a enemy name. Okay. And then let me go with game underscore over. I'll set that equal to true. Once I collide, the game is going to be over. For that, let me go right here under my drop details. I'll create another comment that's going to be called game state. This is going to be my game state. So the first game state is going to be self.game underscore over, which is going to be set to false because my game hasn't been over yet, and even a self.game underscore 1, excuse me guys, which is going to be equal to false as well because I haven't won yet as well. Okay, and then before my game loop, let me create a game object also that equal to my game class. Alright, perfect. So let me go here. There we go. And then let me return true. A collision did happen. If this statement is, if this happens, collision is set to true. Else, let me return false. Okay, collision didn't happen. Okay, and now let me go ahead and add my collision flag. So the first collision flag is going to be my, let's see, I'll reset my skeleton collision to be equal to, actually this is going to be my skeleton collision. Okay, it was called game.skeleton collision. So my game object dot my skeleton collision, there we go, because I have a skeleton collision instance variable here. So to get access to these instance variables, I would have to prefix them with my game object, which is equal to my game class. Okay, my game.skeleton collision is going to be equal to, let me invoke my collision detector function, fill in the parameters. My player is going to be my game.hero, my hero object, my enemy is going to be equal to my game.skeleton object, my enemy name is going to be a string of, let's call it skeleton. Okay, and then lastly, my collision flag. This is going to be my game.skeleton collision. There. Okay, let me do the same thing for my dragon collision. So game.dragon collision is going to be equal to, let me invoke my collision detector function, okay, and then go with game.hero. This is going to be my player. My enemy is going to be my game.dragon object this time. My enemy name is going to be dragon. Okay. Lastly, my collision flag is going to be my game.dragon collision, which is currently set to false, but if a collision happens, that's going to change it to true. Okay. I would need to add a bunch more if statements here, and I would have to modify this later because I will be adding my HP bars and buff bars and all that. but we're not thinking about that right now. We'll get there eventually. Okay. Alright, so what else would I need? This is a collision detector. I would need to work on my, let's see, I would need graphics. This is where I'm going to be drawing my images. Before graphics, what else would I need? I would need my object details to like actually show my object in the screen, give them their move methods, their automate methods. So let's do that. I'll go with game.hero, my game.hero object dot the move method. The move method is going to be have a parameter of keys which we set here, which is equal to pygame.key.get underscore press. So keys. And then I'll go with a game.skeleton object, my skeleton object. Honestly, before my skeleton object, I will apply gravity to my hero as well. So game.hero.apply gravity. This is basically the apply gravity method. Let's see if our hero has any other methods. I'm pretty sure he does not. Okay, our hero just has a move and apply gravity method. Perfect. Next up, let's go with my skeleton. So my game object dot my skeleton object dot automate. This is going to automate my skeleton object. And then let me go with game dot dragon dot automate. This is going to automate my dragon object as well. Perfect. And then I would need one for my coins as well. I wouldn't need one for my coins. Let's go for graphics now. For graphics, I'll draw my hero first. So game.hero.draw. The surface is going to be set to screen by default. And then I'll go with a game.skeleton.draw. The surface will be screen by default. So let me go with game.dragon object.draw. Surface is screen by default. Okay, and then I would need to draw my floor as well. Since my floor doesn't have a class of its own, so I can use the draw dot method, I'll have to draw it manually. So I'll go with pygame.draw.rect. My floor is going to be a rectangle. The surface will be my screen. Let's see the color. Okay, the color I'll add it a bit. The x-axis, y-axis, width and height is going to be my floor's parameters. Now I'll go to my reference code, scroll all the way down till my graphics and copy the RGB color for my floor because I don't have it memorized. Let me paste that. There we go. This is going to be a good brown color. Okay, and then what else would I need to draw? I would need to draw my coins, right? So I'll iterate over my list of coins. So my self.coins is equal to a list of my robs class. So let me go ahead and iterate over that. I'll go with for every coin in my game.coins, my game object.my coins instance variable. Okay, I'll go with coin.draw. Okay, perfect. That's going to draw. The surface will be screen. I could add a quark here. The surface is set to screen by default. It's kind of weird that they're asking me, but I could set it to be screen. Guys, I know I actually want to sneeze. Coin.draw. Expected type drops got surface instead. Okay. Let's see. Excuse me, guys. Okay, let's see. Coins equals to empty list. Honestly, let me draw my coins later. Before I draw my coins, let me go ahead and add a collision detection for my coins. So, let me just zoom out a bit. Add a comment that says collision and detector or detection for player or for hero and coin. Maybe I capitalize it so it's easier to read. Okay, what do I need to do for my collision detection for hero and coins? I would need to iterate over my list of coins for every coin. In my list of game.coins, in my game.import pygame class define dungeon minute pygame.init self.screen game.display.set mode pygame.display.set underscore caption my game self.clock py. That honestly sounds good. Okay. So let me check if my stream's going good on Twitch and Kick. Okay, let me just restart. Okay, Kick's going good. Let me check on Twitch. Alright, perfect. Okay, lastly, let me check if my stream's going good on YouTube. Alright, perfect. Okay, so game.coins add index of colon. The reason I'm adding add index of colon is because add index of colon duplicates all my coins inside of my list, so I can remove stuff safely, because I will want to remove my coins once my player collides with it. Okay, so let me create offsets. The reason I am creating offsets is because I want to use pixel perfect collision when my player and my coins collide. So offset underscore x-axis is going to be equal to, let's see, my coin dot rect dot x-axis minus my game dot hero object dot rect dot x-axis. Didn't I create a coins drop class? Why can't I use the rect? Most likely because I need to whatchamacallit, inherit from my game objects class. Okay, I do need to inherit from my game objects class, so I wouldn't need these. Okay, I guess we do this part again. Okay, so the parameters that I would need is going to be image and position, which is going to be equal to none. Oh guys, this is jog my memory. Yes, we did need a position. There we go. This is how we needed it. Okay, and then let me add a if statement. If my position is none, okay, there we go. If my position is set to none, I will reassign my position to be equal to a tuple of random.randint. Okay, and then the position 50 width minus 50. Go here, go with random.randint. Okay, this is going to be 50 comma floor dot y-axis minus 50. There we go. This makes more sense, guys. And then I'll need a super dunder in it. So let me go outside my if statement and add a super a pair of parentheses dot dunder in it. There we go. And then add my image equals to image, position equals to position. I would need x-axis velocity and y-axis velocity as well. Let me keep my image equal to my coin image. Okay, let's go with, honestly, my images could be anything but coin image, so I wouldn't need my coin image here, because what if I wanted to add like different drops as well? For example, a key. They would go inside of my drop class as well. X-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to x-axis underscore velocity, which is set to 0. I think I would have to specify 0. Y-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to 0 as well, because I don't want my coins to move. Okay, perfect. This is honestly pretty much it. Since I added this, I highly doubt that I would even need my define method. There. For recoin in my game.coins, offset x is coin.rect.x-axis. I should be able to use the rect, right? Okay, let's see. The game object does have a rect. Position is set to 0, 0 by default. I'm very sure this part is correct. I guess I checked the reference. Okay, so in my reference, let me go up to my collision detection with coins. For recoin, there we go. See, this part is correct. Let's check my coins class. Okay, let me just scroll all the way up. There we go, my drops class. This part is correct as well. That is set to gold coin image. Oh wait, did I transform my gold coin? I'm pretty sure I did. I could write this whole thing again if it's like bugged. I don't think it's bugged. Okay, let me go all the way up here. I transform my gold coin image. Let me scroll down. My coins equals to my, okay, coins equals to my drop class. So I don't think that I have access to my gold coins from there. I might have to specify. Okay, might have to specify something here. Oh, I see. There we go. That should work. This is going to be my gold coin image. Gold coin image. Okay. What was this thing called? Coin underscore image. Okay, there we go. Okay, the thing that I messed up in was not adding a pair of parentheses after my drops class. Okay, with that out of the way, now it's gonna work. So for every coin in my coins, add index of colon. Let me go ahead and create offsets. Isn't this called coins? I'm pretty sure my class name is coins. Game.coins. Okay, guys, and this is the part where you guys are going to see me struggle a bit because it gets a little hard for me. I'm still getting used to how to do it. I'm still getting used to doing this. That aside, I'll create offsets. So offset underscore x-axis is going to be equal to my coin.rect.x-axis. Now I can use my x-axis minus my game.hero.rect.x-axis. The same thing for offset underscore y-axis. So that equal to coin.rect.y-axis minus game.hero.rect.y-axis. Perfect. And then I would need a overlap variable as well. So I'll go with overlap. I'll set that equal to my game.hero.overlap. Okay. With my, this is going to be mask. My game.mask, game.hero.mask. There we go, dot overlap my coin.mask at the given offset of offset underscore x-axis and offset underscore y-axis. Okay, perfect. That basically checks the overlapping conditions. Let me drink some water. Okay, perfect. Let me add a if statement now. If overlap, if this condition is met, if that condition is met, that's going to be considered to be an overlap. If overlap is true, I will do something. I'll go with my game.score. I'll increase that by 1. And then let me go with my game.coins. My coins is list dot remove. I want to remove, let's see, my coin. Okay. Game.coins.remove coin. Okay, let's see what error. Local variable is not used. Keys cannot find reference. Seems to have no effect. Game.coins.remove. Can't I use my remove? Excuse me, guys. There. Oh, I went with that index. My bad, guys. Okay. And then let's see. This basically. Okay, wait. Actually, I'll go with my game.scored. I'll set that equal to true because I did score. Let me go with a else. My game.scored equals to false. Okay, let's see. That basically checks the coin collision logic. Let me add a spawn logic as well. So coin spawn logic. Let me add a comment that says coin spawn logic. Okay, for my coin spawn logic, there we go. I can honestly never spell spawn correctly the first time. That aside, for my coin spawn logic, what would I need? I would need to add a if statement. If time.time minus my game.coinspawn time Okay, game dot. What was it called? Okay, coin drop time. Let me go with self dot. Prefix it with a self. Self dot coin drop time. There we go. If my time dot my game dot coin underscore drop underscore time is greater than my spawn time delay. Actually, coin drop delay. Okay. I'll do something. I'll go with coins dot append. Okay, I'll go with my game object dot coins class dot append. I want to append something. What do I want to append? Let's see. I want to append my drops class. Okay, this is going to be my coin image. And then I will reset my or reassign my game dot coin drop time to be equal to my time. Okay, that's honestly it. Let's check if it works. So to check if it works, let me go ahead and add a event loop. Firstly, let me go with event loop. For my event loop, let me iterate over all my Pygame events. To do that, I'll type for every event in my pygame.event.get. This basically gets all my Pygame events, but I'll look for a specific type of event. If my event.type equals to pygame dot all capitalized quit, I'll set my is underscore running boolean variable to be equal to false, so my while loop exits. And then let me add FPS as well. So to add a FPS outside of my for loop, I'll go with my clock variable that I created dot tick my FPS variable that I created, which is set to 60. Maybe I'll add a comment that specifies this FPS. And then let me go ahead and update my display. To update my display, I can go with pygame.display.flip. Okay, honestly, pygame.display.flip or pygame.display.update both would work the same. Let me go with a pygame.quit. Okay, basically this should be it, pygame.quit, but pygame.quit just quits pygames, just quits pygame. I would want to quit Python as well, so let me go ahead and import the sys module. Okay, and then under pygame.quit, I'll just go with sys.exit. I don't know much about the sys module. This is the only thing I know about it. That aside, if I run the command, okay, my player does move and my player is kind of locked back. I do need to work more on the visual so he can like touch the other side and everything. Okay, now let me go ahead and draw my coins. So I'll go with for every coin in my game.coins. Okay, I'll go with coin dot the draw method. Okay, perfect. Now, if I were to go ahead and run the command, there's my coin. But if I collect it, it disappears. It spawns every 3 seconds up there. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Although I did draw my skeleton and dragon as well, weren't they? Whatchamacallit? Showing up in the screen. There could be one reason. Let me go all the way up here. There could honestly be 2 reasons. First reason is messing up with their whatchamacallit, positions. I could change this to 100 by 500. Okay, now if I run the command, if I still don't see them, it's definitely my automate method. So if I go to my automate method here, let me change that to minus. Now we'll be able to see them. We should have been able to see them. Let me change that back to let's change that to 500 and that to 100. I'll be able to see my dragon. That's strange. Did I draw them properly? Okay, game.hero.draw, that draws my hero. Game.skeleton.draw, that draws my skeleton. I went with game.skeleton.update. Okay, this shouldn't this like have drawn my... Okay, let's see, what else could I be missing? Um, let's see. So, if I were to go to my dragon class again, deity is the same as my skeleton class. Definitely the position. This position is correct. So my draw method, self.image, automate method, self.rect.x-axis increase by my x-axis velocity. Oh, I think I see. Never mind. If it's greater than 0, let me change this to 850. There we go. I kind of see them now. Okay. Now let's actually automate them. Self.rect.x-axis. Let's change that to greater than or equal to. Okay, they are drawn on my screen. I did draw them on my screen. Did I automate them correctly? Let me just check if I'm audible. Okay. Alright, let's check if I automated them correctly. Game.skeleton.automate. Huh. Okay, so x-axis is going to decrease by my x-axis velocity. My x-axis velocity is currently set to nothing. Let me set that equal to 0 as well. Change that equal to 0. Copy that, delete that, get that right here. Come on there. Okay, now if I run the command, they should be walking. Oh, let's see. Okay, if my self.rect.x-axis, this is a loop, then this part is correct. Self.rect.x-axis is gonna decrease by my self.x-axis underscore velocity. My x-axis underscore velocity is currently set to 0. Okay, that's image. I blended. This should be correct. Let's check my reference, I guess. Okay, let's see my draw objects reference. This part's correct. Okay. And apparently, this was a kind of bad idea. So let me go with a bunch of control Z's. There. Okay. Hero. My skeleton has a velocity. I'm pretty sure my skeleton added velocities to them. Did I? Okay, good. They have velocities. Wait, that's the wrong one. Okay, my skeleton object does have velocity. Dragon object does have velocity. Okay, let me go all the way down. Let's see. Under my game loop when I blend them. Okay, I draw them. This is how I regularly draw them. My drops don't move. Okay. Could it be my FPS? What is my FPS set to? 60 frames per second. Huh. Where am I messing up? That was... Okay, so my move method is set to 0. It could be because of that. It could be because of that. Okay, what is my move method set in my reference code? Is it like set to 0 and 0? And my move object, okay, it is set to 0 and 0. Might have to often say, guys, let me go with the control A, control C, get Sensei here. Paste it, add a bunch of spaces, say Sensei, I feel like I messed up, exclamation, my objects, my NPCs don't move. Vivek, what is this nonsense? Your skeleton dragon are standing around like they're at a tea party instead of a battlefield. Let's dissect the enemy AI disaster. Inside your game object, you wrote this. Problem on that loop logic is upside down. Right now, as soon as the enemy has x-axis, okay, that means the moment they move, bam, teleported back, stuck in limbo, looking like they're not moving at all. Correct idea. Move across the screen. Greater than 0. Okay, problem 2, enemy starting position x 500. Okay, so it was greater than. Let's see, there we go. Okay, and I might change a few things as well. Let me change that to negative 100. Okay, maybe negative 200. I want them to like exit completely off the screen so it looks like they're spawning. There we go, that's perfect. Let me get my whatchamacallit, my skeleton a little lower. So instead of 300, I'll go with 350. There we go. Maybe 400. Okay, let's see. That's honestly much better. And I will increase my dragon's height by 150. Actually, 50. Okay, so my player can't cap up. Do I collide when I'm up here? Okay, perfect. I would still collide if I'm up there. There. Okay, perfect. Alright, that works. My collision works, and my collision logic with player and PC works as well. The only mistake that I did was under my automate method here, I kept that to be greater than 200. This should be less than negative 200. Okay, now with that out of the way, what else do I need? I would need to add my health bar now. So let me go ahead and create a class for health bar. I'll create that above my game objects. I mean my game class. Let me go ahead and create a class for my health bar. My health bar class will it actually, okay, it will inherit from my game objects. Maybe let me drink some water. Okay, so my health bar object will inherit from my game objects class. And then I'll need to define a dungeon init constructor. It's going to be having a few parameters. What parameters would it have? Let's see. It's going to definitely have a image parameter, which is going to be set to my health bar image. So let me go all the way up here and load my health bar image. I'll go with health underscore bar underscore image is going to be equal to pygame.image dot load. I'll give the file path. The file path is going to be game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by health bar. Honestly, I do have multiple health bars, so inside of my health bar class, right here, it won't have any parameters up there. Instead, I'm gonna go down. Okay, it'll have a parameter of max underscore HP, which is gonna be set to 100 by default. My player's HP will be set to 100 by default. Excuse me, guys. And then I'll create a few instance variables. Self.max underscore HP equals to my max HP. Excuse me again, guys. And self.current HP is going to be equal to my max HP. because my player will start at 100 HP. And then let me go ahead and create a dictionary of self.hp underscore path. Okay, my HP path is basically gonna be a dictionary of all my HPs from 0 all the way to 100. Okay, so for my 0 HP, I'll go with pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path. What is the file path gonna be? Let's see. Okay, so it's gonna be game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by health bar, 2 more forward slashes, my 0 health bar PNG. Since it is a PNG, I will convert this to alpha, comma, and then maybe I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna copy that to like save time. So like all the way here. Okay, and then paste it 5 times. So that's 20 HP, 40 HP, 40, 60, 80, lastly 100 HP. Okay, perfect. And now let me just change these numbers. This is going to be 20 HP, that's going to be 20 HP, this is going to be 40 HP, that's going to be 40 HP, this is going to be 60 HP, that's going to be 60 HP as well, 80 HP, 80 HP, lastly 100 HP, and 100 HP. Okay, perfect. And then let me iterate over my self.health bar because I want to have access to specific, individual health bars depending on my player's HP. So I'll go with for every key in my self.hp underscore path. Okay, I'll transform my specific keys from here. I'll go with self.hp path at index of key, which is basically my individual keys like 0 HP, 20 HP, 40 HP, 60, 80, etc. Okay, I'll set that equal to invoke my scale function. I want to scale them. I want to scale my self.hp path at index of key. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then what would I need next? So I did transform my HP path. Let's see. I would need a few methods that goes for my HP bar. For example, take damage, heal, and all that stuff. So let me go ahead and define a method. So I'll define a take underscore damage method. My take damage method is going to have a parameter of amount to it, the amount of damage it took. Okay, let's see. I'll go with my self.current HP. Self.current HP, my player's current HP is going to be equal to max. Max is going to be 0. My I can't take damage and get my HP below 0. 0 is my this file path. Okay. This is going to be self.current HP minus amount. My amount parameter. Let me do the same thing for my define heal as well. My define heal will have a amount parameter as well, the amount of HP I heal, and then I'll go with self.current HP. My player's current HP is going to be equal to min. Min is going to be 100. My player can't heal more than 100 HP, which is my 100 HP file path right here. And then self.current HP is going to increase by my amount. Okay, and there is something incomplete with this. I think it's complete. Okay, and then I would need a draw method as well. Okay, since I want to draw my health bar above my player, I'm going to be needing a few parameters. A surface parameter, which is going to be equal to screen by default. And then let's see. A hero underscore rect parameter, which is going to be my hero's rectangle. I'll set that equal to none for now. Okay, I shall set that equal to none because I'm going to modify it later once I add my draw method. Now I gotta go with my hero's x-axis. So okay, I'll go with hero.rect.x-axis. This is going to be game.hero.rect because my hero object is inside of my game class here. Is going to be equal to actually minus my image. Okay, so in that case I would have to create image as well before I create this. Let me go with a HP underscore key, also that equal to max, and add a conditional expression for every key in my self dot HP path. If my k is greater than or equal to my self dot current HP, I'm gonna return my key. Okay, and then I'll need image. So image equals to my self.hp path at index of HP key. What does this mean, guys? I couldn't explain you guys right now. This is the only part that I memorized the stuff for now. Although I do see the link of it, I just don't know how to explain it properly. That aside, I'll go with image dot get underscore width. I'll get the width of my image. Then I'll divide it by 2. Then I'll do the same thing for my height. Game.hero.rect.y-axis. Instead of y-axis, I will go with top. This is going to be the top of my player because I want the health bar to be above my player. Minus my image.get underscore height. And I'll minus my height. I'll subtract my height by negative 80. Guys, this negative 80 is just for visuals. Negative 80, for example, is like right above my player's head. Negative 100 could be a little lower. 100 could be like up there or something. If that made any sense. Let me check if I'm audible. Okay, perfect. Alright, and then I go with a surface.blitz. I will most likely change that to be x-axis and that to be y-axis. Okay, let me go with a surface.blitz. Okay, I want to blitz my image. The position is going to be my, let's see, x-axis and y-axis. Okay, I hope this is correct. I'm pretty sure this was correct. In this whole thing, I honestly didn't need my game objects. Game.hero.rect. Yeah, honestly, since this is a UI, I wouldn't need to inherit from my game objects class. I wouldn't need a single one of those. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is correct. Now let's go ahead and draw my HP bar. So under my main game loop, under my graphics section, I'll go ahead and draw my object. Before I draw my object though, my object will go inside my game objects, my game classes, game object section. I'll go here and create an instance variable self dot. Let's see, self dot, let's go with health bar. Is going to be equal to my health bar class. There. Okay. That's basically it. Now I go down here. Let me go with, let's see. Game dot my game object dot my health bar object dot draw method. Okay. My surface is going to be screen by default, but my hero's rect. Let me specify what my hero's rect is going to be. My hero's rect is going to be equal to my game.hero.rect. There we go. Okay, if I run the command, this is just going to be visuals. There you go, my health bar. But I didn't add in my collision logic yet. So if I like collide, my health bar doesn't take damage, and I gotta fix the visuals. Let's get to fixing the visuals first, guys. Divided by 2. Okay, this is going to be center X. There we go. I sometimes forget that part, guys, but you guys can just mess around with everything. There we go. Center X is perfect. Alright, so and what I was telling you guys about 100, if I change this to 100, this is going to, the health bar is going to be up there. That's the reason I keep it to like negative 80, because I prefer the health bar being here. There we go. If you guys wanted, you guys could like specifically keep the health bar somewhere up there and like buff bar up there as well, but I prefer it like this. Okay, now Under my collision logic, let my health bar take the damage. For my health bar to take the damage, I'll create a damage variable here. Damage equals to 100. Okay. Damage equals to 20, my bad guys, because my player will take 20 damage at once. Okay, and then I drink some water. Guys, my brain needs to process. Oh, I just had water. Let me check my stream's going good. Okay, Twitch stream's going good. Let me check on Cake. Let me just restart that. Okay, perfect. Did I change my title for my Twitch stream? Give me a sec, guys. I forgot to change the title for my Twitch stream. It's my previous title from yesterday. Let me change that real quick. Paste that. Okay, it was just quickly editing my Twitch stream's title. Okay, perfect. Refresh that. There we go. Alright, perfect. Now, let's see, what else would I need? That's my game. My damage equals to 20. Let's see. I needed an if statement, so if they collide, go with health bar. Actually, game.healthbar, so game.healthbar.take damage method. I want to take 20 damage. Okay, actually I could add my damage amount here. My damage variable here. Okay, and guys, I do need to add my music as well. So, but although before I add the music, let me check if the health bar logic works. Okay, apparently it doesn't work. Let's see. Game.healthbar.take damage 20. Okay, let me think real quick. Okay, maybe I take a look at the reference. Although my reference doesn't have like specifically my health bars take damage code. It has like my buff bar absorbs the damage type stuff. You guys understand what I mean? Okay, so this section, buff bar absorbs first. If game.buffbar activate, that takes damage. Game.healthbar.take damage. Effects. Okay, else game.healthbar.take damage. I did the same exact thing. If game.healthbar.current HP equals to 0. Okay, in that case, something is definitely wrong with my take damage method for my health bar. I did that. If it's less than or equal to, did I add greater than? I'm pretty sure I added greater than. There we go. Now I should take damage, guys. Perfect, works. Guys, this sometimes gets real complicated. Oh my gosh. What if I collide with the with a dinosaur or dragon? Perfect. Okay, and then guys, I would need to whatchamacallit, load my voice as well. So let me go with colliding, player colliding sound effect dot play function. I want to play my sound effect, and then I'll go with player colliding sound effect dot set volume. The volume is going to be 0.1. So now if I collide, you guys can hear the volume. Guys, by the way, I am the voice actor, that aside. Okay, let me actually add a sound effect for my coin collection as well. Score plus equals to 1. I'll go with coin collecting sound effect. I definitely didn't add that, so let me go up here and add my sound effect. Let me go with collecting coin sound effect. There we go. Collecting coin sound effect is going to be equal to pygame.mixer dot sound. The sound, I'll give the file path. So game item followed by 2 forward slashes followed by sfx. 2 more forward slashes. Let's see. Okay, collecting coin sound effect. Let me go ahead and set the volume up. Honestly, instead of individually setting volumes, let me actually go up here and type set sfx volume. Okay, so first I'll go with my player colliding sound effect dot set underscore volume. I'll set the volume to be 0.1, and then let me set a volume for my colliding coin sound effect. I'll set that equal to actually dot set volume 0.1 as well. Okay, this basically sets the volume. So let me go all the way down here, delete that line. Okay, and here let me add a colliding sound effect dot play. Now if I run the command, if I collect a coin, it's gonna say chi-ching. Guys, by the way, I'm the voice actor of this. I said that like a bajillion times because it is pretty funny. There is some delay after I like actually collect the coins. I gotta like fix that as well. Okay, that aside. Okay, perfect. Honestly, everything seems pretty good. Now let me go ahead and add the meats logic. So for adding the meats logic, it's basically a random meat spawns in the screen. If I like eat that meat, I recover HP. Let me go under my health bar class. I will create a meat class or a meals class. Let me go ahead and define a class or create a class called meals. This is going to be my meals class. My meals class will inherit from my game objects class. It's going to inherit from my game objects because I will be needing x-axis, y, actually not x-axis, whatchamacallit. I would be needing images, regs, and masks. Okay, so let's see. I'll define a Dunger init constructor for my meals class that is going to be having a few parameters. It's going to have a image parameter and a position parameter. Position is going to be set to none as usual, like the same thing as I did for my coins. Okay, and then I'll add a if none. If my position is none. Okay, and I do have a question for Sensei as well because I still didn't ask what the is keyword function does. I don't even know what it does, guys. What does the is keyword do? Okay, and then let's see. If my position is none, I want to randomize my position, so I'll reassign my position to be equal to a tuple. I'll go with random.randint. Let's see, I'll go with 50, comma, my display's width, which is set to 1000, comma, actually minus 50. That is for my y-axis, but I wanted to spawn in my x-axis. That is for my x-axis. I wanted to spawn in my y-axis as well, so I'll add a comma here. Do the same thing for my random.randint. Okay, I'll go with 50. Comma, this time instead of height, I'll go with floor.y-axis. The reason I'm going with floor.y-axis is because I don't want my coins to spawn below my floor. Doing this is going to like spawn the coins most likely 50 pixels above my floor, if that made any sense. Okay. Let me actually ask a question here. Why write 50 here and not any other number? Question mark. Okay, and then I go ahead outside my if statement. Let me add a super, okay, pair of parentheses dot dunger init. So let me add a super dunger init, and then I'll go with image equals to image, position equals to position, my random position here, x-axis underscore velocity equals to 0, y-axis underscore velocity equals to 0 as well, because I don't want my meats to move around. That's basically it for my meals class. Now under my game object, let me go ahead and create a self.meat equals to a list. I'll create a list of my meals. Okay, so I created a list of my meats. Actually, meals would sound much better. Okay, I have a list of my meals. Now let me add a collision detection for my meals. Let me add a comment that says collision detection for hero and meals. Okay, so the collision detection is going to be having let's see. I will be having offsets, although before my offsets, I'll iterate over my list of meals. So for every meal, and actually I might go with meat. For every meat in my meals, okay, add index of colon. Add index of colon basically duplicates all my items inside of my list. For now, there's nothing, but soon I will append my meats class inside of my empty list of meats. So I can go with game dot. And I'm just curious, what happens if I do the same thing as my coins class? I know that I shouldn't do this, but I am kind of curious. So I'll go here and add my meals class. There. My meat. There we go, meals. This is going to be my meat image. Okay, let me go ahead and load my meat image here. So under my column image, I'll go with meat underscore image is going to be equal to pygame.image.load. Okay, and then I'll give the file path game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by meals, 2 more forward slashes, my meat png. Since it is a png, I will convert it to alpha. Perfect. And then I will transform it as well. Let me go with my meat underscore image. I'll set that equal to invoke my scale function. I want to scale my meat underscore image. The factor is going to be 0.05. The same as my coin image. I don't want my meat image to be bigger or anything. So with that out of the way, I have a meat image here now. Okay, now let me iterate over it. Right here, I did iterate over it. Let me create offsets now, since I am going to be using pixel perfect collision to check if my hero collided with my meat. So I'll go with offset underscore x-axis, I'll set that equal to my meat dot rect dot x-axis minus my game object dot hero object, which is inside of my game object right here, okay, which is equal to my hero class, dot rect dot x-axis. I'll do the same thing for my offset y. So offset underscore y-axis is going to be equal to my meat dot rect dot y-axis minus my game dot hero dot rect dot y-axis. And then I would need an overlap variable to check if my hero overlaps with my meat object. So let me create an overlap variable. I'll set that equal to pygame.mask.from underscore surface. My bad, guys. I'll go with my game.hero.mask. This is basically my hero's mask. Let me go with the dot overlap function. If my hero's mask overlaps with my meat.mask, with my meat's mask, at the given offset of offset underscore x-axis at offset underscore y-axis. Okay, if this condition is true, that means a overlap happened. Let me add a if statement now. If overlap did happen, I'll do something. Let's see. Let me go with my game dot health bar, my health bar object dot the heal method. I'll heal my health bar by 20 if my player collides with my meat. And then let's see, I'll go with my game dot meals, my meals, the list of my meals dot remove. I want to remove something from my list of meals. I want to remove my meat. Okay. Alright, perfect. That's honestly basically it for my collision logic. Now let me add a spawning logic so the meals randomly spawn on the screen. So for that, let me create a comment that says spawn logic for player, actually for meats. There we go. And I honestly can never spell spawns correct in the first try. There. For the spawn logic, I'll add a if statement and check something. If my time module dot the time function minus my meet spawn time. So let me go to my games class here, and under my drop details, I have a self.coin underscore drop time. I will create one for meet as well. So self dot meet underscore drop underscore time. I'll set that equal to time dot time. Okay, and I need to like learn a detailed stuff on what the time dot time does. I know that it's like complete time, like Python's entire time or something. I gotta like fact check myself in that. Okay, if my time dot time minus my self dot meet drop time is greater than, this should be game dot meet drop time. If it's greater than, let's see, let me go all the way up here. Under my drop delay, let me add a delay for my meet. My coins spawn every 3 seconds, so my, let's say, meet underscore drop underscore delay is going to be equal to something like 8 seconds. My meet is going to spawn once every 8 seconds. And for my, excuse me guys, coin, did I say greater than? Okay, so it is greater. Excuse me again guys. If it's greater than my meet spawn time, meet drop delay, I will do something. I'll go with my game.meals.append. Okay, dot append. I want to append my meals class. There we go. Okay. Image. I could go with my meet image, but then I can like go with my meet image. What if in the future I had more meets? Would I have to like individually do that? I guess I'll check that when the time comes, guys. That aside, let me go ahead and reassign my game.meetDropTime to be equal to my time module dot the time function. Okay, let me check if I'm audible. Okay, perfect. Let me check if the Twitch stream's going good, Kick stream's going good, if my stream's recording. Honestly, I recorded my screen. I should have source recorded. Let me actually close my recording. Okay, I should have source recorded instead of screen recorded, because source recording, it records my webcam as well, so like it's helpful making shorts. Okay. That aside, what else do I need? Let me go ahead and draw my meet on the screen. So I'll go with, for every meet in my game.meals, let me iterate over my game.meals. I'll go with meet.draw. I want to draw my meet. If I were to run the command, a meet is gonna okay. Why was that meat like chasing me? The meat falls from the sky. Okay. Okay, let's see where we messed up. Let me go to my meals class. Meals.remove meat. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know where I messed up. Apparently, the place that I messed up is I didn't need this. This just had to be an empty list, and then it all works nice. Okay, let's see now. Every 8 seconds a meat spawns. Cha-ching. Okay. Let's fix something else real quick. If overlap. There we go. This is where I messed up. This is going to be minus. There we go, guys. My bad. I messed up with my offsets. Wait, if I messed up with my offsets, could I like, whatchamacallit, add my meals class here again as well? Meet underscore image. There. A meat spawned. I collect that meat. I forgot to check if it recovers my health. Okay, it does heal me. Chi-ching. Oh. Chi-ching. Chi-ching. Guys, it's so funny, the chi-ching sound. Like, oh. Okay, that is solid. That's basically it for my meals. What else do I need? What else do I need, guys? I would need to add a buff bar logic as well because I want to have buffs in my game for buff bars. Before buff bars, let me go ahead and add my SFX sound effects, like my meat eating sound effect. Then let me go down here and type meat eating sound effect. I don't have the sound effect loaded yet, so let me go all the way up here to my SFX section. Load sound effects. Let me go with my eating meat underscore SFX. I'll set that equal to pygame.mixer dot capitalized sound. Okay, I'll give the file path. So game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by SFX, 2 more forward slashes, mission eating meat. Okay, and then let me set the volume. So I'll copy that. I'll paste it here. Dot set volume. Volume is going to be 0.1, which is like 10%. Okay. Now under my overlap for my meals, I'll go with eating meat sound effect dot play. If I were to run the command, whenever I eat, that was a meat eating sound effect. As you guys see the tiny delay, I gotta fix that as well. Okay, I'll probably fix that today after the stream. Okay, that aside, with that out of the way, now let me go ahead and create, let's see, my buff bar. So I'll create a class called buff. Actually, before my buff bar, I might create buff potions. Okay, I'll create a class called buff potion. This is going to be exactly the same as my meals class. I'll inherit from my game objects. It's just going to be having a different image. That said, let me go ahead and import that image that I'm going to be needing. Right up here, I'll go with buff underscore potion underscore image. I'll set that equal to pygame.image.load. I'll give you file path game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by potions, 2 more forward slashes. This is going to be my buff potion PNG. Since it is a PNG, I will convert it to alpha. Perfect. And then let me transform it. So I'll go with buff potion image. I'll set that equal to invoke my scale function. I want to scale my buff potion image. The factor is going to be 0.05, which is the size of my meat image and my coin image. That's shared. Let me go down to my classes. There we go. I will define a dungeon init constructor. And what other parameters would I need? I would need a image parameter. Okay, and then I would need a position parameter. I'll set my position parameter to be none for now because I want my potions to spawn randomly as well. Let me go ahead and add a if statement. If position is none, if my position is set to none, I'll reassign my position to be equal to a tuple of random dot rand int. Okay, the position will be 50, comma width minus 50. And then I'll go with random dot rand int. This is going to be 50, comma. Instead of height, I will be using my floor variable because I don't want my potions to spawn under my floor. Instead, I wanted to spawn above my floor. So I'll go with floor.y-axis minus 50. Okay, and then let me go ahead and let me add a super pair parentheses dot dunder double underscore init. Okay, my super dunder init will have a x-axis velocity, y-axis velocity, image, and position. My x-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to 0. I do want my my potion to move once it spawns. Y-axis underscore velocity is going to be equal to 0 as well because I don't want my potions to move. Then let's see. Image is going to be equal to image, whatever image I add in my parameter. And lastly, position is going to be equal to my position variable here. And a quick question for you guys. Why didn't I add my super dungeon init under my defined dungeon init like I do with my other classes, like right here? That's not. There we go. Super. Actually, not that as well. Which class did I even do that with? There we go. Like how I did with my hero class. The answer is because my position is currently set to none here. If position is none, I reassign my position to be this, and after that my super dungeon init, so I can access this position here. If my super dungeon init was under my defined dungeon init constructor method, I wouldn't be able to access this position. My position needs to be above my super dungeon init for me to use this, if that made any sense. Okay, with that out of the way, let me actually spawn it on the screen and add the collision logic for it. So under my spawn logic for meets, I'll go ahead and add a collision detection for hero and buff potion. Okay, this is going to be collision detection for my hero and buff potion. What do I need for this? I'm audible. Okay, let me drink the last of the water that is left. Okay, collision detection for hero and buff potion. Let's see. I would need offsets, although before offsets, let me go under my whatchamacallit, my game class. So right here, I'll create an instance variable for my potions as well. So I'll create a potion class, a potion object. So I'll go with buff underscore potions equals to a list of my buff potion class. So the image is going to be my buff potion image. Alright, perfect. Now let me go all the way down here. Do the same thing. Let me iterate over my list of buff potions for every potion in my self.buff potions. Okay, game.buff potions, because my game is the object. Add index of colon. The reason I'm adding an index of colon is because that index of colon duplicates all my potions inside of my buff potions list. The reason I am duplicating them is because I will be removing them, and duplicating them apparently helps us remove them safely. Okay, and then let's see. I'll create an offset. So offset underscore x-axis is going to be equal to, let's see. I'll go with my potion.rect.x-axis minus my hero, actually my game.heroObject.rect.x-axis. I'll do the same thing for offset y. So offset underscore y is going to be equal to my potion.rect.y-axis minus my hero.game minus my game.hero.rect.y-axis. And then I will need an overlap variable to check if my player's mask overlaps with my buff potion's mask at the given offset of offset x and offset y. So let me create a overlap variable. I'll set that equal to, let's see, my game.hero.mask, my hero's mask dot overlap with my potion.mask. So if my game.hero's mask, if my hero object's mask overlaps with my potion object's mask at the given offset of a tuple, offset underscore x-axis and offset underscore y-axis, I will do something. Let me see. I'll add a if statement. Yeah. Okay, I'll add a if statement. If overlap is set to true, I'm gonna lubricate my lips real quick. Okay, perfect. If overlap. Okay, what happens if I overlap my buff potion? Let's see. Honestly, nothing much happens. I'll just go with game.buff potions.remove. I want to remove my potion. There we go. Okay, what else? Let's see. Honestly, I wouldn't need anything else after this. For potion, Alright, now with that out of the way, this is my collision logic. Let me go ahead and add a comment that says spawn logic. Excuse me, guys. For let's see, buff potion. Excuse me again, guys. Okay, spawn logic for buff potion. Let's see, what do I want to spawn? Let me add a if statement. If time.time minus, let me go all the way up here to my game class. Under my drop details, let me add another instance variable that says self dot buff underscore potion underscore time, which is going to be equal to time.time, my time module dot the time function. And it just said what the time function does. Let me actually check again. No parameters. Okay, never mind. Alright, let me go down here. If time.time function minus game dot buff potion time is greater than my buff potion spawn delay. Do I have that variable? I do not have that variable. So let me go all the way up here. And the reason I could have already added my variables before, but before I complete that sentence, let me, under my drop delays comment section, let me add a buff underscore potion underscore drop underscore delay. I'll set that to be 10 seconds. My buff potion will spawn every 10 seconds. Now with that out of the way, I could have added all these variables at once. The reason I'm not adding it at once is because I want to like show you guys that if they always want to add new stuff, you can go ahead and add it like that. It makes it a little flexible. That aside, I'll go here and add my buff potion drop delay. Okay. And then let's see. I'll do something. I'll append, let's see, so game dot buff potions, the list of my buff potions dot append. I want to append something. What do I want to append? I want to append my buff potions class. Okay, the object is going to be my buff potion image. There we go. And then I reassign my game dot buff underscore potion underscore time to be equal to time.time. Okay, perfect. And now let me go ahead and draw my buff potion and under my graphics section. So for every potion in my game dot buff potions, I'll go with potion dot draw. That should draw it. Now if I run the command, once every 10 seconds my buff potion is going to be drawn. And I can't take that yet. Okay, let's wait for another one to draw. There we go. Pop. Okay, that works. Although I do need to add a buff bar logic as well. Before my buff bar logic though, I want to go with my buff potion sound effect as well. So let me go all the way up here to my sound effects, load sound effects section. Let me load a sound effect. So I'll go with drinking underscore potion underscore SFX. Okay, that is going to be equal to, let's see, pygame.mixer.capitalize sound. I'll give the file path game item followed by 2 forward slashes followed by SFX, 2 more forward slashes. Let's see. Drinking potion sound effect. And then let me set the volume. So I'll go with drinking potion sound effect dot set underscore volume. My volume is going to be 0.1, which is basically 10%. And now let me go all the way down here. Under my collision detection for hero and buff potion, I could like capitalize it here. So let me actually capitalize that. Actually uppercase it. There we go. After they overlap, let me go with my drinking potion sound effect dot play. Now if I run the command, every time I drink the potion, it's going to make a sound. Guys, I made that sound as well, by the way. Okay, that sounds kind of fun. I want to like listen again. I hope you guys can like listen it. Let me actually check if that sound is audible. Oh, there we go, perfect. Maybe I increase the sound a little more. Okay, let me cancel that and check something real quick if my stream's going good. Okay, YouTube's going good. Let me check Twitch. Twitch's going good as well. Let me check Kick. Okay, Kick's going good as well. Alright. Next up, what else would I need? I would need to work on my buff bar class. So, let me go under my buff potions class and above my game classes class, I'll create another class for my buff bar. Okay, my buff bar class is going to be the same as my health bar class. It won't inherit from anything else because I want my buff bar to be above my... Ouch. I want it to be above my players. Let me drink some coffee. Okay, let's see. Class is going to be buff bar. Okay, I would need to define a dungeon init constructor. Would it need a few parameters? It would need a few parameters. I would need an image parameter and a position parameter, which is going to be equal to none for the time being. Okay, and then I'll go with the if statement. If my position is none, if my position is set to none, I will do something. Let's see. Honestly, I'm not trying to randomly spawn it. I'm trying to like spawn it above my player. I think it's the same thing. Let me go with the x-axis. I'll set that equal to okay, I think I'm messing up from there. I could like see what I did for the health bar, but I want to think this through. Let's see. Image. There we go. There we go. Okay. My bad, guys. I was trying to load what was processing. I would need a few variables for my buff bar, like when it's going to activate, how long it's going to be activated for, how much HP it has, like the current buff. So let me create a current underscore buff. I could change that to buff bar health. So buff bar health is going to be equal to 100 by default. That's basically like my health bar, but an additional health bar of my buff bar, if that made any sense. Let me do something now. I'll create a few instance variables. Self dot buff underscore bar underscore health. I could change the buff bar HP. That will make it a bit shorter. There we go. My self dot buff underscore bar HP. Buff bar HP. Self dot buff bar HP. There. Does that look better? I think this looks good. It is going to be equal to my buff bar HP. I will need to activate boolean variable as well to check if my buff is activated. So I'll go with self dot activate. Self dot activate is going to be equal to, let's see, false, because my buff bar hasn't been activated yet. And then a self dot buff underscore time, which is going to be equal to 0 because my time is going to be starting at 0, if that made any sense. Okay, and then it's going to be having a few methods. This is where I get confused. Let me define a activate underscore buff. Okay, so this activate buff method activates my buff. It is going to have amount as a parameter, like how much buff is activated. Okay, I forgot the if statement that goes in here, so I will take a look at the reference now. Buff bar, so I created current buff, set that equal to 0. Max buff. Okay, I didn't create a max buff. This is going to be max underscore buff, which is going to be equal to 100. I'll change this to current buff. The current buff actually current buff HP or current underscore buff underscore HP. Let me copy that, paste it here. Okay, and then go with equals to. Okay, that equals to 0 because I don't have any buff yet. I would need a self.max underscore buff. I'll set that equal to max buff, which is set to 100. Now for my activate buff, what all do I need? Okay, I would have to load my path first, my buff bars path, before I activate my buff, but my activate buff would need a current buff which equals to amount. I go with my buff bar dot activate buff and I add a amount. So current buff is going to be how much buff I added. Self dot activate is going to be equal to true. Self dot start time is going to be equal to time dot time. Okay, and then for take damage, if self.activate, if my self.activate is set to true, which means my buff is activated, self.current underscore buff equals to max, which is going to be set to 0. My buff bar can go below 0, self.current buff minus amount. Okay, this is basically the code for my buff bar taking damage, and if self.current buff equals to 0, self.activate equals false. Buff shattered. This is if my buff bar's HP is gone. Okay. And then a update if self.activate, if I activate my buff and in a tuple time.time minus self.start time is greater than or equal to 5. If both these conditions are true, okay, if it's been 5 seconds since I got my buff, my self.current buff is going to be equal to 0 and my activate is going to be set to false. Okay, for the draw method, it's the same buff key. Okay, I see. Alright, let's do it now. Although, before I add a few methods, let me go ahead and give my file paths for my current buff. Let me go with self.buff path. This is going to be my buff images path. I'll set that equal to a dictionary. Okay, so 0 buff is going to be pygame.image.load. I'll give the file path, which is going to be game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by buff bar 2 more forward slashes. That's 0 buff png. Since it is a png, I will convert it to alpha. There we go. I'll add a comma here, copy that, paste it 5 times. That's 20 buff, 40 buff, 60 buff, 80 buff, 100 buff. Now let's change these numbers. 0 to 20, that's 20 buff. That's going to be 40 buff, 40 buff. That's going to be 60 buff, 60 buff, 80 buff, 80 buff. Lastly, 100 buff and 100 buff. Okay, perfect. Now let me iterate over my buff bars because I want to have access to each file path or like the value of my 0 buffs, HP and everything to transform them. So let me go with for every key in my self.buff path. Okay, I'll go with self.buff path at index of key is going to be equal to my self.buff path, okay, at index of key. Actually, let me invoke my scale function. I forgot all about that. I want to scale this. Alright, perfect. Self.buff time. This isn't going to be buff time. This is going to be buff path. Okay, perfect. And then I drink some more coffee. Alright, now let me go ahead and define a few methods. Methods such as, let me define take underscore damage. So the buff is going to have a take damage method as well, which is going to be having a parameter of amount to it. Now let's, actually this is going to be activate buff first. Let me activate underscore buff. Let me spell this correct. Activate underscore buff. Oh my gosh, I'm spelling it wrong. Guys, did I forget how do we spell activate? Guys, there's no way I forgot how to spell activate. Or it's just my brain is kind of, what you call it, burnt out. I spelled it correct only. A-C-T-I-V-A-T-E. T-I. Why did I add an I? There we go. Guys, I swear I can spell activate. My brain was probably kind of could be making excuses. That aside, what all do I gotta check? Let's check something for my activate buff conditions to meet. So let me go with current buff. Self.current buff equals to my amount. Is that what you have to do? Okay, if self.activates. Oh, activate should be true for this. My if statement. If self.activate, if my activate boolean variable is set to true. Okay. Let's go with self.current buff. I'll set that equal to my amount. Or should I increase that by my amount? I think increasing was it. Self.current buff equals to max. No, that's the wrong thing. Okay, I was doing it correct. Never mind, I saw the take damage method. Okay, so it's this. Okay, if self.activate, that should be later. Let me go with self.current buff. Current buff HP equals to amount. Self.activate equals to true. Because the buff is activated, and self dot what's it called? Buff time? What's it called? Buff time equals to time dot time. Okay, now let me go ahead and define a take damage method. So take underscore damage method. My take damage method will have a parameter of amount as well, or will it? Does it? Okay, it does. Okay, amount. Then let me add an if statement. If activate, if my activate is set to true, if self.activate, okay, if my activate is set to true, I'll do something. I'll go with self.current buff. My current buff is going to be equal to max. Max is going to be 0, which means my buff can't go below 0. I can't have negative buffs. Okay. Self.current buff, I'll go with self.current buff minus my amount. Okay, did I need anything else after that?
The chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative and should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I can roast.
Mic testing, mic testing. Guys, this is one of my biggest, what you call it, nightmares that I'm not audible. Yeah, my mic's battery ran out. I don't know for how long was I not audible. That aside, let me just check if my stream's going good on Twitch. Alright, Twitch stream's going good. Let me check on Kick. Geek stream's going good as well. Lastly, let me check on YouTube. Okay, perfect. Maybe I keep my mic for charging, guys. I don't know for how long was I not audible. That aside, let me see why is my buff bar acting a little cranky. Let me go enter my collision with buff part. Okay, that's collision. That spawns buff potion. Okay, so if my game.buffbar.activate, no wonder I didn't add my let's see. I didn't invoke my update function, so let me update my buff bar first. So I'll go with game.buffbar.update. Now it should work. Okay, I wouldn't see my buff bar. I see it. My main HP takes the... Okay, my main HP takes the hit. If activate buff bar to take damage, did I add buff bar or health bar here? I'm pretty sure I added buff bar up here. Buff bar to take damage. Okay. Equals to 0. Okay, when I bled it on my screen under my graphics category, let me check. Okay, right here. So, okay, if game.buff border activate, I forgot all about that. I mean, I was pretty new with this section, so I can like just say that might be an excuse. Most likely, it is an excuse. Okay, let's add an if statement now. Under this, so if game.buffbar.activate, if my buff bar is activated, if let me indent this inside. There. And now if I run the command, I wouldn't see it because my buff bar isn't activated. Although if I drink that, my buff bar should activate. Okay, I see where I'm messing up. Where's the collision with buff potion? Okay, once I collide, game.buffpotions.remove. Let me go with game.buffbar.activate buff. Amount is going to be 100. Now if I run the command, it's definitely activated. Buff. Value error, max iterable argument is empty, line 216. Let's see the line 216. Right there. Max says it's empty. Let me check the line 216 here. Okay, under my buff bar, there we go. Max is greater than, is less than or equal to, did I greater than? Okay, I did put greater than. I always mess up this greater than with less than or equal to. Now it should work. Although it does say I have an error. There we go. What if I take it again? Okay, it works. Alright, perfect. It honestly does work. That aside, now let me work on my win/lose logic. This is going to be the easiest part here. So, after my collision, game over is true. Okay, let me add a if statement here inside my while loop. Indent, let me add a if statement. If my score is greater than or equal to 10, if my score is greater than or equal to 10, game.score. Game object.score, because my score variable is inside of my game class. Then I'll set my game.game_1 to be equal to true. Okay, and then I'll add another if statement. If my game.game_1, if I won my game, I'll do something. Let's see. Let's see, what do I want to do if I won my game? I'll go with a screen.blit. I want to blit my win screen UI. Okay. At the given depth of 0 and 0. And then I'll add one for if game.game_lost. If I lost my game, I'll do something. Let's see. I'll go with a screen.blit. Before that, game.game_lost. What's this the variable? Do I have a game_lost? Game_over. Okay, so it's called game_over. There we go. I'll do something. Screen.blit. I want to blit something on my screen. I want to blit my lose screen UI at the given depth of 0 and 0. There we go. Okay, and then let me add a else, and this should be an else if. Actually, I'll change this to else if in a bit, but first I want to show you guys what happens if that was an if. Let me go ahead and indent everything before my event loop. Everything before event loop. Okay. Inside of my else clause. There we go. And maybe add a comment that says a normal loop. Okay, perfect. Okay, so once I blit my if game.game1, if I win my game, then let me go with a win text. This is going to be a text that's going to show in the screen if I win. Let me go ahead and add my win_text_font.render. Okay, and I'll render a text. The text is going to be something like you win exclamation. Press R to reset. to play again. And the analysis is going to be true. That's how you pronounce it, guys. The color is going to be 0, 0, 0. That's basically black color. And then let me blit my windscreen text on my screen as well. I'll go with screen.blitz. I want to blit my win text on my screen at the given depth of 250 and 250 and I don't know 40. Okay, let me do the same thing for my game lost. I'll create a lose underscore text. My lose text is going to be equal to my lose text underscore font dot the render function. I'll render a text something like you lost exclamation press R to restart. And the analysis of that's how I pronounce it is going to be set to true, and the color is going to be 0, 0, 0. Okay, go with the control Z. Now let me blit my loose text on the screen, so I'll go with screen.blitz. I want to blit my loose text on the screen at the given depth of 250 and 40. Okay, perfect. This is honestly pretty much it. If I run the command, before I run the command, let me just change that to 2 so I can like show you guys real quick what it means. So if I collect that and I collect that, it says you win, but my game is still running. My lose does work. The reason that happens is because I didn't change this to else if. Let me change this to else if. Else if game lost. Now if I run the command and I win the game. Okay. It says you win, press R to reset. Although if I press R, it does not reset my game. Maybe I change that to like 50. I want to see what happens if I change it to 50. What happens if I collide? If I collide, it directly hits. I don't take damage if it doesn't collide. I mean, if I collide. Okay. Is greater than or equal to 0 if it's less than or equal to 0. There we go. Now if I collide, my health bar takes damage. Bop, you win, press R to reset. Although if I press R, nothing resets. So let's fix that. Let me go all the way down here to my event loop. Let me add another event loop. So if my event dot type, I look for another event type is equal to pygame dot key down. Let me fix my typos. Event. Okay, my event dot type is pygame dot key down. If my key is pushed down, pygame dot key up is if I like push my key down and then release it up. That's basically what it means. If my event dot type is equal to pygame dot key down, I do something. I look for a specific type of key. If my key dot, actually, if my event dot key equals to pygame dot k is R. If my key is R, if I click my R key, I'll go with my game object dot the reset method. This is where everything resets, and this is where my actual game classes. This thing comes in use. The reason I created all these instance variables, these are the default instance variables which is set to false and everything. This resets my entire game. When I define reset, it goes with self.dunder_init, which is basically this. It's going to reset everything back to this condition, if that made any sense. Although if I run the command and I hit R, I reset the game even if I like don't even if I like don't lose or win. So let me add a and here. If pygame.k is R, if my R key is pressed, and in a tuple, I'll add my game object.game underscore over if my game is over, or game.game underscore 1. If either one of this is true, then my game resets. If I hit R right now, nothing happens. Though let's try losing. Okay, I should have won. That would be much easier than losing. There we go. If I had R, the game resets. That aside, I wanna add my text as well, like my sound effect as well. So let's load my sound effect for when I win or I lose. Under my load sound effects, I'll go with win sound effect. Actually, game one, so game underscore one underscore sfx, I'll set that equal to pygame dot mixer dot capitalize sounds. Let me get the file path. So game item followed by 2 / followed by, let's see, sfx, 2 more /. I'll go with game one. And I'll go on for game lost. So game underscore over underscore sfx. I'll set that equal to pygame dot mixer dot capitalize sound. I'll give the file path game item followed by 2 / followed by sfx, 2 more / my game underscore lost sound effect. I will set their volume as well. So under my set sound effects volume, I'll go with my game one sound effect dot set underscore volume. My volume will be 0.1. And then I'll go with game underscore lost underscore sfx dot set underscore volume. My volume will be 0.1 again. Okay, perfect. Let me go all the way down here to my game loop, change that back to 10. Okay, once I bled this on my screen, here's the stuff. I could use the is attribute function, but I don't know how to use that. So let me go to the reference and check. Like the if not has attribute, this thing. I don't know how to do this. So after I blended my image on my screen, let's check. If not has attribute. Okay, so that's game, that's object, that's attribute. If my game object doesn't have this attribute, okay, I play the sound. Okay, let's try that. After I blend it on my screen, let me add an if not. So if this is set to true, if not has underscore attribute, has attribute, okay, if not has attribute, object and a name. So my object is going to be my game object, name is going to be game underscore one underscore sfx. Was this the name that we kept here? One sound played. Okay, let's go with that, I guess. I mean, this name could be anything. One sound played. Okay, if not has this attribute, if my game object doesn't have this attribute in it, my game object doesn't have this attribute, I'll go with one game one sfx dot play. Okay, that's basically it. I'll do the same thing for my lose. If not has attribute. Okay, if my game object doesn't have the attribute of lost the sound played, I'll go with game lost, game over sound effect. Okay, is game over sound effect the same as game lost? I'm pretty sure I imported something. There we go. I imported so many things. Oh my gosh. Let me delete that. Go here. Delete that. Go down here. Change that to game over sfx dot play. Okay, I'll play my game underscore over sound effect. Honestly, I would have to set my one distinct, copy that to be true. I gotta ask Sensei more about how this works. Let me add a bunch of spaces and say how the need more help with this part with this part. Okay, I'll do the same thing with my this thing as well. I'll copy last sound played, paste it here, set that equal to true. Add a bunch of spaces again, add a comment that says need. Honestly, instead of doing that, I could just copy this. Copy that and paste it here. Okay, perfect. Where am I having an error? Unresolved reference game lost SFX. What line is it in? Game lost SFX right here. If I go all the way up here where I like lower my SFX, this is going to be game over SFX. Okay, perfect. Now let me go ahead and run the command. Honestly, before any of this, let me actually add my score. Then that's just basically going to be the complete game, and I can like play it and see if everything works perfectly. For my score under my game graphics, right here, I'll go ahead and add a score underscore text variable. I'll set that equal to my score text font dot render. Okay, I'll render a f string. My f string is gonna be something like score colon a pair of parentheses my game dot score game object dot score instance variable. The analysis is going to be set to true if that's how you pronounce it. The color will be black. And then let me go ahead and blit this on my screen. So I'll go with screen.blit. I want to blit my score text at the given desc of 10 and 10. Okay, now if I run the command, there's my nice score. I might add a space here. There we go, that looks much better. That's score 1. Let's try winning. Okay, take that. I take some damage from here. Go drink that. Ching, ching. Okay, let me take this 7. 3 more points. Now I should be quiet because we can listen the noise after this. Did I? Why was that loud? I hope I didn't blow you guys' ears off. Over SFX. Oh, I didn't add one for win. Let me change this to game 1 SFX now. There. Now, just for some testing purposes, I'll change that to 1. Okay, did I mess up something with the has attribute? Game dot lost. Okay, I didn't add the game dot. Game dot one sound played true. Okay, that's my object. Okay, so I think I need to add it. Okay, let me go all the way down here and type game dot this thing and game dot. Okay, perfect. Now if I win the game, let's see. Guys, by the way, I was the sound. I don't know how to say it. I was the voice artist. There we go. I was having a hard time phrasing it. Okay, let's check the one for the loose sound as well, because like, why not? Change that to 10. Now let's lose. Bop. Oh my gosh, I didn't want to drink this. You've taken 3 HP damage. I don't want to take the meat. Okay, if I hit R, that works. This is honestly pretty much it. Let me just fix a few visuals real quick. The visuals like my player is not completely on the ground and you can't go completely to the left. That aside, let's fix that real quick. So let me go to my hero class. Under the apply gravity, I'll add 20 here. And guys, this is just for visuals, so you guys can experiment with this. Right now, I am going to be a little lower. There we go. Okay, and I can't go completely back. Excuse me, guys. So let me go under my trap method. Okay, my trap layer window, I'll change that to -100. So I could go a bit beyond the x-axis right there. Okay, that's way too much. Let's change that to -50. -50. Let's see. I mean, that is pretty good. Okay, I'll take that. I'll change this to 1150. I don't know if this is a lot. I'm pretty sure this is a lot. That is a lot. Let me change that to 1050. How is that gonna be? And guys, this is just for visual. This isn't necessary. Maybe 1100. There, that's much better. 1080. Okay, this should be good. Bop. How did I take 2 damage? How did I take damage twice, guys? Okay, now for my x-axis. Let's see. I mean my y-axis. Maybe a little higher. Let me change that to 700. Okay, I think that's for the lower one. This wouldn't change anything, guys. I gotta change that to -50 as well. Let's see. Okay, let's see if this works. Not 150. 150 is gonna be a lot, right? Okay, that is a lot. I gotta change it to 50. There. Okay, 50 is a lot. What if I go with -40? Actually, let's go with 30. This should be perfect. Maybe -20, because I want my health bar to like cap up. Okay, I think I'll take 20. 20 looks pretty good. Okay, there we go. This actually looks pretty good. Alright guys, that's honestly pretty good. I do want to add one thing when I start the game. I want to like load another sound. That's what's my mission. Let's go to my load sound effects. I'll go here and let's see. Let me go with mission 1. Mission _1. Mission 1 sound effect. I'll give the file path, which is going to be pygame.mixer.capitalize sound. The file path is going to be game items followed by game items Control Z. There, game items followed by 2 / mission MISSION. Okay. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, there we go. Game items followed by 2 / followed by SFX, 2 more / mission 1. And then I will set the volume. So mission 1 sound effect dot set _ volume is going to be 0.1. When am I going to set my volume now? Let's see. Where am I going to set it? I might have to use these attribute again. So under my game loop, right here, as soon as my game loop begins, right here, after my screen fills, I'll go with one more thing. I'll go with if not has attribute. If my game object doesn't have the attribute of, let's see, mission 1 sound. If my game 1 doesn't have the attribute, I'll go with mission 1 sound effect dot play. Okay, and then I will set my game dot mission 1. Copy that. What if I go with the capital M? Can I? Okay, now my game dot mission 1 dot sound equals to true. Now when I start the game, I will be. Guys, that's kind of funny. If I, how did I even make that voice? Let me listen again. Mission collect 10 gold coins. Okay, I guess we collecting 10 gold coins. And honestly, guys, this looks like the complete code. There's like nothing else added. Everything I could think, everything my puny heart could desire. Okay, I didn't add zombie voice, or let me try figuring out how to add zombie voice now. Maybe I drink some more coffee. Okay, for my zombie voice, I should change the name to skeleton voice. This doesn't look like zombie voice to me, guys. Let's rename it to skeleton voice. Skeleton _ voice. There we go. Refactor. Alright, so when am I going to spawn my skeleton voice? Let's go right under my, excuse me guys, maybe under my graphics. I don't think graphics, so let's go under my skeleton class. Okay, let's think when would I actually think of adding my skeleton voice? Maybe when my skeleton spawns. That would be here. So skeleton.draw. Then let's go with if has attribute. I gotta add an if statement here. If skeleton. Okay, honestly, let's think. If my skeletons, whatchamacallit, x-axis. Okay, let me actually go here and add skeleton voice or NPC voices. For my NPC voices, let me add a if statement. If my game dot skeleton dot rect dot x-axis and my skeleton's x-axis. Let's see what x-axis is my skeleton. My skeleton object. It's right there. So the x-axis is 500. If my skeleton object's x-axis is 500. Where is it at? There we go. If my game.skeleton.reg.x-axis is equal to let's go with 450 honestly. Before my skeleton spawns, it's going to make the noise. Okay, let me load my skeleton noise, my skeleton sound effect. I'll go up here. Under load sound effects, I'll go with skeleton underscore sfx sound effects is going to be equal to pygame.image.pygame.mixer dot capitalized sound. I'll give the file path game items followed by 2 forward slashes followed by sfx, 2 more forward slashes, my skeleton voice, and then I will set a volume for my skeleton voice. For that, I'll go with skeleton sfx equals to pygame skeleton sound effect dot set volume. My volume is going to be 0.1. Okay, perfect. And now, under my if skeleton dot rect, I'll go with skeleton sound effect dot play. I'm gonna play it. Actually, I'll play it 2 times. Since Python starts counting from 0, 1 is basically twice. Now if I run the command. Guys, I'm the voice actor, by the way. Let me add the has attribute. So, if not has attribute, if my game object doesn't have the attribute of skeleton sound underscore skeleton underscore sound, okay, then I play this sound effect, and then I'll go with game dot skeleton sound base dot set that equal to true. Okay, that's basically it. This should play it. Okay. Honestly, just once is fine. Now let's see. Okay. If that condition is met, let me change that to 500. Just want to see. Why does it just play twice? I wanted to play every time. Da-da-da. Okay, if game.skeleton.rect equals to 500, if the position is 500, x-axis, y-axis. What happens if I like maybe I copy that, I go with shift tab to de-indent, and I paste that here, indent that. Let's see. Okay, just make the voice twice. Might have to ask Sensei for this. Every time I collect a coin, right? So I might not need this. Just every time this happens. This is gonna print it a lot though. Why does it play twice? I think I know why. I might change this to 650. There we go. I don't know. Guys, that did sound kind of cursed though. Zombies must sound cursed, guys. If my game.skeleton.rect, if my skeleton's x-axis is equal to 650 and not game sound played, okay, and not skeleton sfx.play, and my skeleton sfx sound effect is already not playing. Let me change that to 400 again in that case. Okay, this should be good. I could like decrease this volume a little. The volume does sound a lot, guys. Maybe I go all the way up here. Decrease the volume to 0.05. I might use the is not attribute again, I guess. Guys, it's all about trial and error until you don't figure it out. I could ask Sensei, but I'm trying to do it myself. Am I like wasting time on stream? Maybe. I mean, it's fine because I'm the only viewer. Okay, let's see. If game.skeleton.rect and if not attribute, if not has attr, my game object doesn't have the attribute of skeleton sounds. There we go. Okay, if my this thing doesn't have this attribute, let me paste it, copy that. Okay, why was my game.skeleton underscore sound set to true? That might be the reason. Let me actually just run the command and check this real quick. I think it's just the voice actor and not skeleton sound effect.play. And my skeleton sound effect is not been playing yet. Okay. Okay, I think honestly this is pretty much it. Let me copy that. Control A, Control C. Now, finally, let's bring Sensei here after the whole stream. How long have I been streaming for? 3 hours, 10 minutes. Let's paste this and say, Sensei, I made this game, dot dot dot. Although I did take a look at the reference code every just a bit, guys. I didn't, you guys can't say that I took a lot. I like looked a lot at the references, took it like a bit for the buff part section and maybe some other sections. Thinking longer for a better answer. I guess we let Sensei think, guys. Let me drink some coffee. Give a constructive feedback. Sensei style, pointing out issues in code with playful intensity, addressing issues step by step. Let's see, identifying key code issues. Let me check if I'm audible while Sensei's thinking. Thought for 22 seconds. Vivek, you built a whole arena, respect, but I still see slippery bugs dancing on your grave. Time to stomp. Here's where you went off rails. You must fix. Okay, enemy auto slash move negative 200. Okay, lazy constants. That's hard coding nonsense. Use actual window edges. The reason I didn't use window edges, guys, is because that is for like visuals. Okay, rect dot left equals width. Make it resolution proof. Okay. Play bounds mismatched. Okay. Magic numbers. Self.rect.x axis. Okay. Da da da. Floor collision. Okay, guys, those are just for what you call it. These are all for visuals. Skeleton voice trigger. Logic face plant. Okay, this is where the logic I messed up. If not has attribute. Sound.play returns none, so not sound.play is always true the first time, meaning is brittle, you skip it 99.9% of frames due to step sizes use has played. Flag. Okay, you start that part right and trigger when the skeleton crosses a threshold range, example, or check a timer slash dance coin slash media slash potion spawn margins explained. You ask 50, why? Because sprite slash width height vary the 50 margin prevents spawning halfway on screen, I see. Or inside the floor, your sprites are big slash small. Tie this, okay. Tie this to sprite.get underscore width divided by 2 instead of hard 50. Honestly, I didn't learn about the get sprite method or sprites yet. Okay, Quark's question and game underscore object under init. You didn't use it, only helps if child class might pass extra name parameters you don't care about. Excuse me guys, since your subclass only passes x-axis velocity, y-axis velocity, image, position, you don't need quarks here, okay? If in skeleton, under init, you didn't need quarks. Because your signature matches the parent's expected args. Is versus equals question. You wrote if position is non-correct. Is checks identity same object in memory equals to checks equality. Is checks identity same object in memory. None is a single ton. Okay, always use is none is not none. Win slash lose sound, you're close. Your has attribute guard is fine. Just remember after game.reset, you create a new game, so the flag disappears. Which is what you want if you ever want the SFX to replay each time you re-enter the state in one run. Keep the flag on the game object as you did if you want it tied to the state rather than the object. Okay, key to booleans like game underscore 1, mission intro, SFX, one time per run. If not, has attribute, mission 1 plays once per app run. If you want, play it again after restart. Flag.restart, good. You want to play it once per lifetime. Okay, your orders, do this now. No code from me, you write it. Replace, okay, snap floor, okay, Okay, And listen up, if you want to crush more challenges with Vivek, stick around, learn and push our limits. If you're loving this journey, show more love to Vivek's channel because every like, guys, I did not say sensei to say this. I'm way too lazy to read this, I just want to read the important parts. Okay, maybe I drink some more coffee. Okay, let's see. That's game attributes. Am I audible? Collision detection for hero and buff potion. Okay. Object details. Let me actually run the command. Okay, let's see what happens like when I lose. If I Okay, if I run the command, like if I reset, then I don't listen my mission stuff. That's right here. Which is right here. If not has attribute, I might add this inside of my game reset. If not has attribute. Okay, maybe I copy this, delete this from here. Let me see what happens if I add it here. Okay, error name, game is not defined. Game is not defined. Okay, wait, never mind, guys. Set it to true. What is this called? This is called mission 1. Mission 1, which is gonna have let's see, mission 1 sound. I'll set that to false. Let me copy that. Let me maybe delete that extra space. I'll go with self dot paste that. There we go. Self dot this equals to false. Now if I run the command, why didn't it play it? Self dot mission. If has attribute, this thing does have attribute. Mission 1, this thing, I'll set that to false then. Okay, I guess I need to go with if not has attribute. Okay, if not has attribute, if my game object does not have this attribute. Okay, I will delete this part real quick. Copy this part maybe. Get sensei back here, or get sensei back here. Okay, paste it at a bunch of space. Sensei. I want to play my mission 1 sound effect every time I reset as well. Let's see, Vivek, listen up. Your code is locked in trap. If not has attribute. The problem, you're storing a flag on the game object, but every time you call reset, you're not necessarily. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't read. You're not necessarily destroying and recreating the whole game, so that attribute stays and sound never fires again. 2 clean ways to fix reset. If has attribute del delete self.mission1 underscore sound. Now when your loop runs again, the has attribute check fails, sound plays again. Option 2. Self.mission1 played equals false. Instead of using has attribute, give your game a flag that resets with the state. I see, this method might be easier. Either way, your core rule is your reset flag. Okay, let me get sensei there. Maybe let me give it this. So I'll go with lowercase m, mission 1 sound. Copy that. Uh, I don't know what this called. Sounds. I'll paste that equals to false. Okay, and instead of attribute, I'll just add if not. Okay, I will prefix this with a self.mission1. If not game dot mission 1 sound, I will do that. Now if I run the command, I gotta collect 10 gold coin. I just wanted to play once. Copy that. Get Sudsei back here. Paste it at a bunch of space and say Sudsei. I just want it to play once though. Just wanted to play once. It plays a lot. Actually, I don't even know how to phrase it right now, guys. Thank you. Somebody bug orb me. Look carefully. If not, game.mission 1. This is the saboteur, if that's how you pronounce it. 2 problems. You're missing names. Mission 1 sound versus mission 1 sound. I see. Guys, at this point, it's just silly mistakes. Mission 1 sound effect equals true. Okay, now let me go to another command. Okay, let's see what happens if I lose. Let me try to lose, guys. Might have to change these delays as well. That's like, it spawns way too quick. Okay. Okay. That part works nice now. I'll keep this in mind. Okay, and I have another question. Let me go to Control A, Control C. Actually, I wouldn't copy the whole thing. I'll just say Sensei. ... I have another question. What if I don't want these sounds to overlap? Like sometimes when I win the game, I hear my colliding sounds. Guys, ignore my typos. I'm really exhausted to type. Okay, let me fix my typos. Have sometimes I, and that's gonna be if. Okay, so your battlefield is noisy chaos with victory horns clashing. Oh, my rib sounds not worthy of a Python warrior. Here's the truth. By default, Python on mixer.sound will happily overlap. Okay, different sounds. If you want to control, you need to command your army with channels. The weapon. Pygame.mixer.channel. Okay, think of channels as sound lanes. You can assign certain sounds like victory to one lane and others like damage to another, or you can force a sound to play on a single channel so it cuts off the previous instead of overlapping. This is exactly what I want. Victory channel 1. Play sounds. Okay, victory channel dot play. Now 2 sounds won't overlap within the same channel. Okay. If you want total silence before playing, Pygame.mixer.stop. Okay. Alright, let me actually do that. Okay, victory channels, right? Let me create a specific channel for I mean, honestly, I can't think properly right now. Might do that next stream, guys. I don't know. For now, let's try winning this one last time. Okay, I might have to go with like random locations. Maybe change the spawn time. That's 5. Yeah, meats need a different spawn time. Press R. Okay, guys, that's honestly pretty good. Let me actually go all the way up here to my drop delays. I might change my drop delay from 8 seconds to 15 seconds. This is going to be 10 seconds. Excuse me, guys. Okay. 50 seconds is actually pretty reasonable. There we go, meat spawned. Okay. Perfect. Okay, that's honestly pretty much it. Guys, I actually might end the stream right now because I do have college stuff to do as well. That aside, let me get Sensei here. And guys, I won't take complete credit for this question because I did look at the reference a little, but I can tell I looked at the reference way less than I usually do, and I did ask Sensei for help as well. I did ask actually at the ending part for like the music stuff. I didn't know anything about it. That aside, let me say, Sensei, here's my final code. The hard coding that I did was just for visuals. That aside, I am planning to end the stream right now. Is there anything that you want to say to the viewers? Question mark. Let's see. Listen up, warriors of the stream. This is your sensei speaking. Today you watched the way clash with dragons, collide with skeletons, and wrestle with the chaos of Python code. He bled, he debugged, he rose again. That's the warrior's path. Every error, just another scar. Every bug, another dragon slain. If you felt the fire, if you learned even one thing, then show this man your loyalty. Like, share, subscribe, guys. I do not say sensitive to say that, honestly, because every click fuels his blade, sharpens his resolve, and brings you more battle into the dojo of code. Guys, I cannot read right now. And here it is. Today was not the end. No, warriors, this was just training for the true war ahead. So grab your coffee, sharpen your mind, and return stronger, because when the day goes live again, we're not just coding, we're building legends. Sensei is proud, and I will be waiting to throw more monsters, bugs, and code challenges his way. Until next time, warriors, stay sharp, stay hungry, and never fear the error. Okay, let me actually go to my message retracted. Let me actually go to my main screen. Alright, there we have it, guys. I do look a little exhausted because I am a little exhausted. I gotta like work on my college stuff right now because I do have an exam soon. That aside, if you guys enjoyed this stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like helps my algorithm, sharing makes me smile, and subscribing is like a cherry on top. And guys, I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube at the same time. So if you guys didn't subscribe to me at YouTube, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. If you guys enjoy my content with the notifications turned on, and even follow me on Twitch, join the Discord, and I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.